What is going on, people? We are Tottenham TV. Spurs been beaten 3-2 at a Vitality by Bournemouth. In another game where we've chucked away from a winning position. It looked as though Spurs, having had first of all taken the lead, given the lead, but then come back from behind, were in the ascendancy. We looked like near the end of the game we were going to go on to win it. Unfortunately, it wasn't to be the case. Bournemouth and Semenyo had other ideas, and in his last shot as a Bournemouth player, scored the winner as he goes off to Man City. It was a good look. This game was actually an eventful game, unlike some of the other games we've been accustomed to in recent weeks.
It wasn't a snore fest.
No, it wasn't a snore fest. There was a lot of incidences we can discuss, but at the end of the day, we are talking about another defeat, a defeat away from home this time. We take the lead quite early on. Matisse Tell, nice finish, cutting inside from the left-hand side, doing a lot of work by himself. You know, he had to beat a player. Little deflection potentially on the shot, but it finds far corner, proving again his worth from the team. He had a brilliant first half in general, but Tottenham, having gathered the ascendancy in the game after a really positive start, some really nice football, without really creating too much, got the lead. But then we just gave it up. Two really sloppy, easy goals conceded. Tavernier, carbon copy, crosses in from the left, cuts inside. First one, Evan Nilsson heads home. The second one, Semenyo taps it to Senesiu, cuts it across to Krupe, and all of a sudden, in the blink of an eye, Spurs are 2-1 down. And that half ended really poorly, to be honest. And it was again similar to the Sunderland game. Took the lead, but we just took our foot off the gas and just allowed Bournemouth into the game, and deservedly they got the lead. We then, second half, started, I think, quite poorly for much of that half. But I think it all changed once Richie came on. Obviously, we had the penalty moment. Van de Ven did a Copenhagen, ran the whole pitch, got into the box, was brought down. Referee pointed to the spot where VAR decided Van de Ven was not fouled, but he ran into the defender instead, even though, for me, I thought Brooks got a touch on him with a tackle from behind. But anyway, referee decided not to give it. OVAR overturns. However, Spurs, to be fair to them, didn't let it get to them. We then equalise through João Paulini, incredible overhead kick from a corner. Unbelievable. And then from then on, it was kind of a crazy game. Van de Ven has a brilliant chance. I think that was really the clincher, where Romero heads it across the face of goal. Van de Ven with the header, unbelievable save from Petrovic, keeping them level. And then it became a bit of a pinball game. It was about who can find that moment of quality. And Bournemouth just caught that second win in stoppage time with Antoine Semenyo scoring the winner. But Amir, that was kind of the story of the game. What was your feeling about the game?
My feeling is that it's more points dropped, Sim. It's just more and more points dropped. It was one of those games where we kind of had it in our hands to do a little bit better. Even when we got back to 2-2, we had a chance where it could have been 3-2. Richie hit the post with a header.
Yes, that was at 2-1, wasn't it?
Was that at 2-1? 2-1. You know, so you're looking at all these chances, these things we created. We did actually do all right in terms of chance creation today. We did create some big opportunities. We're not confident enough to take them. And then as soon as you gift a player of Antoine Semenyo's caliber, when you gift him that time at the edge of a box, guess what? He's gonna put the ball in the back of the net, and that's what he did. 3-2. It wasn't surprising that it was him either. You know, he knows where the goal is. He knows what to do. So I just feel like another stomach punch. You know, it's like another one to the gut here.
Yeah, it's a different
6 points now. Bournemouth.
Six points we've given them, and we've ended their winless streak, which is incredible how we have a knack of doing that for so many teams. Every time a team has a winless run, you just got to pray Tottenham are in your fixture list coming up, because it's like it's a guaranteed 3 points. We're just so good at gifting teams who need the points that they need. It's incredible. In terms of players who had good games, I thought standouts, Matisse Tell, I thought had a really strong performance in this occasion. Really carried on much better, I would say, than where he left off against Sunderland. Was looking more confident, was taking it on his man and actually beating his man. And I thought their right back, especially for the first hour, really struggled. He got a really nice goal as well, where he had to work the opportunity himself and get the shot off. I thought he created some chances as well. Some of his crosses from the right hand side was really great. I thought his corners were really on point. We were creating havoc from corners, a lot thanks to him. So I thought that was really positive. The only downside, obviously, when he started to tie in the last 15, 20 minutes, then he started to become a bit more ineffective. But even then, right at the end, still getting on the ball and still doing stuff. So
he's got a mean delivery on him as well.
He does. He's got good technique, doesn't he?
Good technique, good delivery on him, good spirit about him. I liked what Tell brought to the table. It's one of those games where it's so difficult to analyse players' performances and how people did, because when you lose like the way we did in the last few minutes, it really does hurt. It's a real kick in the teeth, that one. It really is, Sim. And you know, you can say some of the other players were decent as well. You know, you had Bergvall, who was pretty good, I would say. Richie, when he came on, he looked like he was, you know, causing havoc.
Yeah, he made a good impact, I thought.
Romero, Van der Ven, I think they were having good games. The Van der Ven penalty one is a very interesting one. I think it's one of those ones that if there was no VAR and the ref gives it on pitch, that's a penalty. We would have had that penalty for sure.
Yeah.
The problem is VAR looked at it, and I think they didn't look at the original challenge. They looked at the challenge kind of after the original challenge, and that's why the penalty wasn't given, I guess. I'm not exactly...
But the penalty was given for the challenge.
The second challenge. It wasn't given.
Yeah,
it wasn't given. Okay.
So and technically that wasn't a penalty. I don't think that it's fair to say that wasn't a foul.
No, but that led the foul
one before.
Brooks's one from behind led to what happened after.
Yeah. I thought. Yeah. What's it?
So yeah, a few of them had decent games. You know, a few of our players had decent games. Xavi, he did okay in moments, but you know.
Is this real? Frank was seen drinking from an Arsenal branded cup. That can't be real.
Nah, surely not. You're falling for some AI stuff now, Sim. Come on. None of that stuff.
It's real, apparently.
Nah, surely
Getty
not.
Images. Last Word on Spurs are reporting it.
Getty 3.2.
Is this a real image, people?
Nah, surely not.
No way did he actually drink from an Arsenal branded cup. Surely not. This picture's real, people are saying.
No way.
Oh my God. Can you bring it up?
Where is it?
On Twitter. It's all over Twitter.
You liked it?
I like it. Go on.
I can't believe that's real. That's not a real photo, Sim. Surely not.
People are saying this is a real... What the fuck? This is the manager of Tottenham Hotspur. Is it real or AI? What people are saying? Real.
Old photo.
Old photo.
Maybe when he was at Brentford or something. I don't know.
No, Sky reported it. Apparently, everyone is reporting it. What the fuck? This is the manager of Tottenham Hotspur. What is he doing? This is the biggest self-own. How do you... Oh, my God. What an idiot. Get out of my club, honestly. Frank out, man. Get him out. He doesn't understand this club. How could he think he can go around drinking out of Arsenal cups when we've got a game? We've got a game. You're a Tottenham manager. Do you not understand the rivalry?
He doesn't get it.
What are you doing? What are you thinking? Oh my God!
He simply doesn't get it. He doesn't get it. He doesn't get it. He hasn't got it since day one when he came here.
Is it not real? People say now it's not real.
It's not real. Come on, you can't think that's real. He's not.
It's real.
Stupid. People
are saying I don't know. Is it real or not, guys? Because everyone's reporting it on social media that it's real.
I wouldn't believe social media.
I don't know. All the big accounts are reporting it.
Just because one person says
No,
it.
not one person. Lots of accounts.
I mean, it could be just photoshopped in, Sim. You know,
It's from Getty Images though.
someone could have photoshopped.
They
Getty
said it was
Images.
taken today.
He's drunk out of an Arsenal cup today. That's what you want me to believe.
Before the game, yeah.
Nah, come on. What's an Arsenal cup doing down in Bournemouth?
I don't know.
Like what? This is just all too.
If it's real, man,
It's not real.
This can't be real.
It's not real. It's not.
Spurs
real,
Express
Sim.
are reporting that the Evening Standard have reported it.
Doesn't matter.
That's a genuine newspaper.
Mate, all these newspapers, they're all the same.
Well, if it was AI, the newspaper wouldn't say that it's real. They have, you know what I mean. The
They have
Standard
journalistic integrity. That's what you're trying to tell me.
The Evening Standard
I
are
don't
reporting that it's
believe-
real.
I don't believe any of them. From the Sun to the Guardian, doesn't matter which one. I don't believe any of them, Sim. None of them.
I don't understand why they would lie. The Evening Standard are reporting that it's a real picture.
Because they might
Look, I've
think
liked
it's
this
real.
tweet.
They might think it's real.
Someone asked Grok. I've liked the tweet. This is the Evening Standard. Like this is a newspaper.
Hey,
What?
have you seen some of the headlines over the last 20 years?
Trust me, if it was fake, they wouldn't be reporting it. Yeah, Grok has said it's real. That's AI. Jesus Christ.
I don't know what to tell you then. If it's real and our manager's drinking out of an Arsenal cup, I mean,
What is going on?
Anyone wanting to give him any more time here or
Can't
thinks he
believe
needs
Cupgate.
thinks he needs Cupgate.
What is this football club? What do I support? I've got our manager drinking out of Arsenal cups.
You've got our CEO who's
What
just
is
come out
going
there.
on? We've got Vinay, who was at Arsenal for however long, 10 years. We've got Cochrane, who's a boyhood Arsenal fan. We've got Thomas Frank drinking out of Arsenal cups. This club is infested with gooners,
We're
man.
infested.
We're infested. Get
We're
them out of our
infested.
club, man. What is
We are
what is this?
infested.
I don't understand this. We've got apparently there's pictures here of Van de Ven having confrontations with Spurs fans after the game. I've liked that as well. You can look at that. Apparently this is him with fans after the game. Was this him
What's
with
happened
fans?
with Mickey? I want to see what's happened with
Apparently
Mickey.
something happened after the game with Mickey Van de Ven. Oh, it's all not going well, is it? It is not going well. Danny Kiriakou saying it's fake. Well, of course you're going to say it's fake, Danny. Of course you are. classic Kiriakou. Huh?
How does he even get the cup?
I don't know how. What he must have had it at home. That's how he got it. He brought it
It
from his
doesn't
house.
make any sense.
He was sleeping
guys.
with the
He
cup.
was sleeping with the- just to bring it out for the right
What
moment.
is this? What is this? People are just saying it's fake because they don't want to believe it's real, but there are newspapers saying that it's real. So where is the evidence that it's fake? Ben Jacobs says the picture's real. All the journalists are saying that, no, Grok says it's real, people. Grok doesn't say it's fake. Anyway.
But maybe the photos from like 5 years ago.
No, it's from today.
It's from today.
It's from today, before the game.
Someone must have pranked him.
Yeah, someone must have pranked him.
The source is Getty Images. That's the source. The Evening Standard are reporting it. They're saying it's from today. This club isn't real. This isn't a real club. This isn't... What is this? If it is real, it's a disgrace. Probably a prank. Oh, God. It's such a horrible look. I imagine the beginning of the end of your tenure is being pictured with an Arsenal cup. In drinking from an Arsenal cup. Because you own a cup of coffee. That's like a cardinal sin, Thomas. Might be an old image. But look, I'm just telling you, people, everyone in the chat, Getty Images posted this picture today, right? This is from today, before the game against Bournemouth. That's when they posted the image. The newspapers are reporting this as a genuine image. It's not old. It's not AI. So I don't understand where people are saying it's all this kind of stuff in the chat. Danny Kiriakou says Ben Jacobs is a liar. Okay, so everyone's lying. Everyone's just lying. It's a big conspiracy to get Thomas Frank holding an Arsenal cup, or maybe he just drank from an Arsenal cup like an idiot. Is it that hard to believe? Oh, Danny. Okay, I'm not going to get into Danny. Anyway, going back to the game. Yeah, it's a weird one, I feel, for me, because I think for large parts of the game, I would say for the first 20 minutes, and from about, like, when did Richie come on? What minute?
75, 78.
So and that bit, when did we score? So we scored on 78. So he came on 67. So I'll say from like minute 1 to like minute 25, they scored their opening goal on 22. Yeah, so minute 1 to minute 20, and then minute like 67, 65 to like minute 85. Those two 20-minute periods, I thought we were pretty good. I thought we deservedly scored right at the beginning, and I thought in that period where we got the goal and then we looked like we could get a third, Petrovic had a header, we were looking dangerous. I thought for those 2 periods we were quite dominant and looking quite dangerous. But then the other period, which is basically half the game, but then the other period, we were, again, just like our old selves, really sloppy, really struggling to keep the ball under pressure, and also looking like we can concede goals, which we did. And it's hard to give too much praise for the team, especially we're playing against a team, by the way, who hasn't won 11 games. And I understand the context that Bournemouth are not a bad team. I know that. Even though they haven't won for 11 games, they're a difficult team to play against. Even at the Vitality, it's a hard place to go. And that 11 win this run doesn't really represent maybe the true quality of their team. I think they're a good team. But we're still playing against a team that 11 other teams haven't won in the last 11 games, and they are struggling at the moment. So to give them that first win, and how confident they looked, and the fact that for half the game, I would say, or maybe slightly more than half the game, like 50 out of the 90 minutes, I'll say we were the worst team. And it's just the problem is, at the moment, it's a pattern of how the games have gone for us in recent weeks, and we're now 2 wins. We're now 2 wins in 12, I think. 2 wins in 12 games. So 10 of the last 12 games we failed to win, and this is another defeat. And we're now 14th in the league. So, as much as you want to take some of the positives, well, I do think there were a few positives to take. It's hard to look at that when the overall picture is looking so bleak at the moment, and the positives are so few.
And the positives, they just get drained out by all the negatives and the weaknesses in our play, in everything that we do, Sim. That's we can sit here and try and be happy for Tell, and he got a decent goal, and Paulinho's, finish was unbelievable, and we celebrated here, but none of that is any good when you're losing 3 points, when you're drawing at home to Sunderland, when you're drawing away at Brentford. None of this breeds confidence. None of this helps the team out in any way. And I just think that there needs to be a change at the top. And I don't think that this isn't a hole that we can easily be pulled out of where we're at the moment. I think some fans maybe absolutely delusional, thinking that we still have a chance of getting into Europe. Other fans realise that we are, a mid to relegation team, basically, is where we're at the moment.
I mean, that's kind of how we're playing at the moment.
It's where we're at, Sim. It's where we're at. It's where we're at. These are the team. We can't beat Fulham. We can't beat Nottingham. We couldn't beat Wolves at home. So this is where
Forest, by the way, in horrible form before around playing us.
They were. We're the easiest team to play against because there's no confidence in that dressing room. There's no confidence in that manager. There's zero confidence. Anyone trying to tell me that those players still believe in what Frank is doing, I don't know what you're watching. I really don't know what you're watching. He doesn't inspire the fans. He doesn't inspire the players. He doesn't inspire that dressing room. And I don't know. Does he inspire the board? Are the board impressed with this? Because they're the ones that brought him in. Are they happy with this?
I think, in terms of just today, you probably say, well, we're unfortunate in this game maybe not to take something from it. Did we deserve to lose? I think maybe maybe a draw would have been a fair result, a 2-2 draw, rather than that sucker punch right at the end with Semenyo's long-range shot. But at the end of the day, it's hard to praise that when, again, the goals we conceded were sloppy. Again, the attack. When we went forward on occasion, we were looking dangerous. But again, we looked at our most dangerous when probably from corners. You'd probably say that's when Paulinho.
And
got
the
his
last
overhead
15
kick.
minutes, we are actually committing bodies forward.
Yeah.
We were actually committing. There was actually, when we were crossing the ball in, there were 4 or 5 players in the box. That's what you need. When you're just putting a ball in, a hopeful ball into 1 or 2 attackers, into 5 or 6 bodies, that's not great football. But when you put a ball in to 6 or 7 defenders into 4 or 5 attackers, 6 attackers, that's when you can start creating havoc and create chances. Those were our best chances came from. Mickey van der Ven's header, Richie's header, those were the closest chances we had to nicking any other goals today. Both coming from those kind of situations, set pieces or crosses in from the wide spaces. But yeah,
the football's still not fantastic. I think at times in the first 20 minutes, I would say it was all right. But I think
it was an improvement on crap, though. Let's be real, Sim. It's an improvement on absolute crap football. So when we do string 4 or 5 passes together, it's like, oh, okay.
All of a sudden it's like,
we can do
wow,
that. Yeah, we can do that. But it's so far from what it should be.
And again, the 2 goals we scored,
individual brilliance.
Individual brilliance from Tell and an overhead kick from Paulinho.
Individual brilliance.
And that was it. And that, I think, again, it shows that our players do have good ability in them.
Of course
they need the platform for it. And I think far too much they're isolated a lot, especially going forward. There's a lot of times there's no players around them. Look, I feel for Frank a bit at the moment, only because we're very short in attack with numbers. Obviously, it was his decision to let Brennan go, so that's all club decision, but it was decided to let Brennan go. But when it comes to changing it up, he is limited at the moment with what he can do. But still, with what he had on the pitch, could we have been doing more? I would say probably. I think Bournemouth, they're winners for a reason. It's because they've got a good set of players and a good manager, but I think maybe their quality isn't like the best. And I like Bournemouth. I like them as a team, but I think things could have made. Look, I think with a different approach potentially, it could have been very different. I didn't think we were awful today, if I'm being honest. I'm not going to be like, this was terrible, this was like the worst thing I've ever seen.
No, this wasn't as bad as Fulham. This wasn't as bad as Brentford. This wasn't as bad as Nottingham Forest. But this was still bad. It still wasn't a good performance. It still didn't... This performance doesn't have me saying, wow, oh, you know what, we're going to smash Villa in the Cup. No, we're most likely going to lose to Villa in the Cup. Mm-hmm. Okay, it's a one-off Cup game. Maybe we can sneak something. Maybe they'll get a red card. Maybe, there's a lot of maybes in there. But none of these performances that I've seen have inspired me to think that we can change this.
Was it a performance that said like, on the right track?
No.
If we keep going in this way,
no.
this is a good direction to be going in.
No.
Because it wouldn't surprise me. Like, this was like one of our better performances, which is probably true, but doesn't say much. And then next game against Villa, we'll probably look blunt again. It wouldn't surprise me.
It wouldn't surprise, and we could win. We might win against Villa in a blunt performance. Could happen, but that's not showing me any progression either. That's just a lucky win. Mm-hmm. We were lucky to kind of get the victory at Palace. It's just really frustrating to see where we're at the moment.
And we're falling further down the table. I mean, as I said, 2 wins in 12. It's been... we're on horrible form at the moment. We're struggling to get wins on the board. We now have more losses than wins, by the way.
Yeah.
We now have more losses than wins this season. 8 losses, 7 wins. But do have 6 draws. Our goal difference +3, but 30 goals. We're on 27 points. So Well, we're now 6 points, by the way, behind Brentford, who are in 5th. But his former team are 6 points above us. They're probably going to finish above us. How mad is that? He came here with all his coaching staff. Brentford lost all their best players, and they're going to finish above us.
Shows you that maybe it wasn't Frank at Brentford. It wasn't all just Frank.
They've won 4 of their last 5 games. And look, this is the 21st league game. People acting like he hasn't been here for. I'm just saying, I know it's not like he's been here for 2 or 3 years. I get that, but he also hasn't just walked in the door now at this point. He's got his feet under the table. He has kind of gotten some time to put in his methods. And at the moment, I'm looking at the team and I'm not sure what he's implementing. Our best avenue of attack is either. It's just like maybe a moment of magic or a cross in the box or a corner. Like, we don't really have too many patterns of play. We're very easy to win the ball off when we're building up. It's very easy to stifle us. You just outnumber us in the box, and we're easily stifled.
Yep.
The only way we're really succeeding is maybe corners. Consistently. Romero, I have to say, by the way, credit to him, because I thought he was exceptional today. I thought it was really one of his better games. He won, I read the stat, he won 12 of 13 aerial duels. So he was so dominant in the air. A lot of them were in the box as well. We kept basically just aiming for Romero, and he was just doing brilliant, I thought, in the box. And he was really unlucky maybe not to have gotten an assist or something, because I thought he had a really good game. He was one of our stronger players. But I mean, what is it about us and giving teams their first win in like however long? It is just something that's been going on for years. I saw an image. Man United, like when Oli got sacked, they had lost like 6 games. They had lost 6 out of 7 games. That 7th game was Spurs. Like it's just throughout the years. Dr. Tottenham was coined like 20 years ago. It's not a new thing, this Dr. Tottenham thing. So what is it about this club that it transcends managers, it transcends ownerships at this point? Like, we just gift teams wins when they need them, when they're it's even got a name. There's a name for it. That's how often we do it. How mad is this?
And you knew he was going to appear today. You knew he was coming. You knew he was going to make an appearance. And you knew at 2-2, you knew that game wasn't done, Sim. You and I both knew that game was not done. We just hoped that it would be us to get the 3rd. But no. Dr. Tottenham shows up and he lets Semenyo take the ball home with him today. I don't know how to explain it. What does
the future hold for Frank? Does he get sacked after this game? Is the pressure of Cupgate? Is that going to build?
He should have been sacked for me 2 months ago. After that Chelsea performance, after those dreadful performances, he should have been sacked.
But are they gonna? What's going on here? Maybe take off the screen and so just to get a full picture of it. So we've got a clip here. I haven't seen this. So Van der Ven coming over to a fan. What's he saying? He's like, "Do you want to come?" What's he saying? Come and.
Yeah, he's saying, "Come and have words with me."
Oh God.
So Van der Ven offering out some of our fans who have gone all the way down to the south coast. Yeah, not a healthy club,
what is
guys.
Going on here?
It looks like he's
really turning
out.
toxic. It's boiling over, isn't it? And this is our best.
He's
player,
our best player.
But what was said to him is all over social media. Frank was booed again. People, well, that's not a surprise. Van der Ven lost his cool. Does anyone know what that was about? I don't know what. Obviously, he was just shouting something at him. God, this is horrible. You got fans booing. You got the manager holding up the Arsenal Cup. God, it's all boiling over at the moment.
And he's not going to resign because he wants a payout. So he's just going to sit there indefinitely until he gets fired. And he's going to keep coming up with these.
The whole thing's a disaster.
He's going to keep coming up with these nonsense press conferences and this, that. Oh, I think we need to play better. Oh, my ideologies of football. How about winning, Thomas? How about winning games of football? How about that being your ideology? By hook or by crook?
When you're in the form that you're in, you can't be doing things like drinking from an Arsenal cup. I can't get over that.
Mate.
I can't get over that. It's real. Someone said in the chat, Arsenal cup. Here we go. Here we go.
Telling you what, you know what? The only positive things to come out of our fan base at the moment are some of the comments. Some of the comments you read in some of the streams and stuff, Sim, honestly, they have me rolling around, laughing my head off.
James Dickinson on Twitter was next to the fan shouting, but apparently Van der Ven was justified. I know James Dickinson, that's Dicko. I know him. James, what do these... What's his handle? I can't remember his handle. Anyway, I don't think the plan is to sack him, put it that way. But the more it turns toxic like this, and the more this boils and boils between the fans and the club, it's only going to go one way. The only way to alleviate that is winning games. The more the form's like this, the more Frank is talking the way he's talking, the more we're playing like we're playing, and the more we're getting the results like we're getting the results, then it's only going to be a matter of time before we pull the plug. And we've now seen we've now seen Chelsea and Man United pull the plug in situations which are not as bad as what our situations are.
Not as bad. They're 5th and 6th, aren't they? Where are they?
Nowhere near as bad. They're 7th now, but they sacked their managers in 5th and 6th place. So their situations are not as bad as ours. And are we also looking at those situations thinking, okay, we need to do something here because we're dropping like a rock. This guy also doesn't really have any pedigree to hang on to apart from his jobs he's done at Brentford and Bromby, which right now doesn't really translate to managing Tottenham Hotspur. And the way he speaks, it seems like that as well. You know what I mean? It's not like he seems like he's ready for the big job, the way he conducts himself.
No.
He seems like he thinks he's managing Brentford.
Yes.
That's how he acts and that's how we play.
Yep.
And I think he needs to address all these things. And
I don't think he can. I don't think he can, Sim. I simply think he's the wrong man for the wrong job, and the quicker we cut ties, the better. And
exactly. And I think Tottenham fans, we understand that the team we have is not the best team in the world right now. We understand that, but we also want a manager to believe they could get the best out of this team. They believe they can get this team playing to a standard that we all want. And if they can't, then aspire to do that. Don't just say, well, that's where we are and accept it. No, don't accept it. Aim high. That's what you want. We don't want to hear you saying, "Oh, we're being so realistic." I'm being so realistic. I don't give a crap about what your feelings are about the squad. We have international players who we spend big money on, right, in this team. It's your job to get the best out of these players and get them playing in a certain way, or getting them to win football matches and getting results. Now, I understand that's a process. I understand that can take time, but the way he's talking, the way he's accepting, the way he's making excuses for himself, for me, is not befitting of a manager of our football club. The way he talks about our club, oh, it's great having this motto, but look at the reality, as just dismissing it, he's shitting on it, essentially. Who cares about your motto when you have charlatans, basically what he's trying to say. That's not a way to be talking about our football club. And the way he's changed his tune about the attacking football, saying, first of all, oh, we're just making layers of attacking. We're building the layers, and now all of a sudden he's saying, "Oh, it's because we're missing key offensive players. That's why we're not good going forward." So he's just making more excuses for himself. And the longer this kind of form goes on, the longer these performances go on. Look, if I'm going to be honest with us, if we did see more performances like we did today more often, maybe he wouldn't be under the amount of pressure he is right now. Unfortunately, today's been the exception to the rule, and today is still not exactly great. But in terms of how many chances we created and the level of entertainment, all this kind of stuff, at least today there was some definite intent in parts of this game to go forward and to try and win the game and attack. Unfortunately, and even today, it's too few and far between, and it's only really in moments. And it's not really sustained piece of pressure. I think there was sustained pressure for maybe 5-10 minute periods, but in terms of overall in the game, it's nowhere near enough. And I thought Bournemouth probably looked more dangerous when they went forward than we did.
They look much more dangerous every time they came forward. They look like a well-oiled machine, whereas we look like, individuals who can, maybe one of them can suddenly do something from somewhere. But they look like they have a system, a way of playing. They know that when that ball gets overloaded onto the right or onto the left, they start overloading the box, they start getting players forward, and they go for it. They go for it, and that's why they got the winner. They were still going for it in the 93rd minute or whenever Semenyo banged that one in. And we have a long, 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 painful way to go. And this is where I'm at, Sim, because, things won't get better 3 weeks, 1 month after we sack Frank. They will take time. It will take 6 months from now. It will take another window. It will take another summer. It will take a long time to get us back to where we need to be.
And the problem is as well now, is where we are in the league, how we're playing. It's going to put off a lot of prospective players and signings.
Of course it will.
And it's going to make January very hard. A lot of people
Super hard.
are saying how important January is. It's going to, we need all these players. And, if Frank gets his players, then we can judge him, all this kind of stuff.
Players.
The reality, these people get it through their heads that we're not going to get some superstars this January. That ain't going to happen. We might get some loan deals or some value deals like this Sousa, who we're looking at for 20 million.
Mate,
we're going to get deals like
Sousa for 20 million.
Is, but we're not going to get
Sousa for 20 million.
I don't know who he is, but some left back apparently.
Oh, this Brazilian kid. He's going to come and save the day. Yeah? I've heard these stories for 25 years, Sid.
People need to understand we're not going to be getting superstars for 60, 70, 80 million in this January. As much as they may be willing to spend the money, we're not going to be getting, in my opinion, I'll be shocked if we convince maybe more than one big money signing to come to this football club. If that, I think if we can get one big money signing, then I'd be happy. So to suggest that all Frank needs is his signings and some good players, and everything will be all right, I think it's fanciful. He needs to deal with what he's got right now. He needs to deal with he needs to get the best out of what he's got right now. And for me, what he's got right now is there's enough to play with. There is enough players there. It's not like he's got shit players completely. Look at Tell. He came in today and he was our best player. Why has he been out of the team for so long? He was brilliant today. He was
Ask why
brilliant.
Basuma's been frozen out for 6 months.
All he needs is a run of games, and look what he can do. We have Xavi, who can, I know Xavi didn't get a great game, but he's a good player. You can get the best out of him. Rishi came on. Moani was again poor today, but we have enough in the forward line to suggest that we can do a lot better than we're doing now.
We have more than we had last season. We have more in that front line than we had last season.
Well, last season people argue we had Madison, Decky and Solanke.
They were also injured last season, parts of last season.
Well, Solanke missed 3 months, yeah. Decky missed
was out, Madison was out. You can't... Look.
And when you take those 3 out last season, we were left with your worst players probably, yeah. We played Mikey Moore a lot last season.
Mikey Moore was playing, Archie Gray was playing left back. You had all sorts of things going on last season, which makes it even more miraculous what we did in Bilbao.
I think overall the squad is better.
Of course it's better
this season than it is last season in terms of what's been available to us this season. So I think for me, we're 14th in the league. We're basically, we're in terms of ahead of 17th, we're now 6 points because Forest won. But in terms of 16th, we're 4 points ahead of Leeds. So they're closing the gap. Oh, they're drawing now, Leeds. Although they were winning before, but we're 1 point away from Bournemouth, so they could overtake us at any point. So it's a precarious situation for us in terms of the league position. We're now, in terms of away from 5th, we're 6 points away from 5th. In terms of that's where Brentford are, so that gap is now widened a tad. We're now 2 games away from that. It's not like a million miles away, but it's also not that near. We're closer to 16th than we are to 5th. So, yeah, I think the board should make a tough decision. And clearly, the away fans, they're having none of it. They're getting clashes with the players. Last season, you didn't really have this. Even how bad it got, right? It got bad. There was some toxicity, but you remember Tell jumped into the crowd and was backing Frank up, and he was like calmly explaining, look, backing Ange up, sorry. And he was like calmly saying, look, we need to back the players up. If you keep with this, it's going to bleed somewhere. You had Ange being abused and him snapping occasionally, but you didn't really have anything with the players too much. Like we've seen multiple times this season, some of the discontent shown publicly. There's just a lot of toxicity, I feel, at the moment.
It would surprise me if there wasn't toxicity at Tottenham Hotspur, though, Sim. This is the thing. You can't go from winning in Bilbao to sacking the manager who won you Bilbao and bringing in a manager who the players don't 100%. If you had brought in Zinedine Zidane or you'd brought in someone with pedigree, then that was a different story, okay? Sacking Ange, whatever, bringing in pedigree. But when you bring in somebody that the players do not fancy, that they do not look up to, that they don't admire, that they don't see what they've done in the game, then of course you're going to have these levels of toxicity that you're seeing at the moment.
There's another video, Sammy, I just liked it. There's a video of Paulinho as well. Was also having a bit of something with the fans after the game.
And look, these fans arguing with the fans. It's crazy.
There's one I like. Oh, do you have it?
Ben might send me one.
Well,
Yeah, I've gone to that.
I liked it on Twitter. That one here on the left.
This one, yeah.
Yeah, you can make that full screen. That's
What? Don't talk to me about what we
deserved.
We deserved. Go and win the games. Then talk to me about deserved.
Did we deserve?
No, we didn't deserve. Where did we deserve?
I would say today a draw was a fair result. I don't think we necessarily deserved to win.
A draw. Did we deserve to win against Sunderland? No.
No, I think a draw was probably fair.
Did we deserve to beat Brentford?
No.
No. Did we deserve to beat Palace when we did?
No, we got lucky to win.
We got lucky. Exactly. All this about deserve. Listen, a lot of these players, Frank may be taking the heat. Some of these players need to take the heat as well. Yeah? They have not been anywhere near the top levels. They have accepted mediocrity. We've accepted losing games at home. We've accepted getting outfought by lesser teams and then taking points off us. That's where we need to change. That's where this club needs a reset.
And also today we picked up more injuries. Bergvall. Groin injury, which looked like a bad one, by the way. He might be out for a while. Bentancur looked like he went off injured as well.
Every year it's the same thing, though. We just sold Johnson. Why? I couldn't understand it. The guy got slated here for the last 2 years. He was our top goal scorer last season, and he won us the cup in Bilbao. I just don't understand. I don't understand the trajectory of our club, Sim. I don't understand it. I don't get it. I don't understand the decisions that are made at the highest levels. I see them and I'm like, well, that's wrong, and we keep doing it again and again and again and again.
Frank has addressed the Cupgate. He says, I definitely did not notice it. It would be completely stupid of me to take it if I knew. It's a little bit sad in football that I need to be asked about it. I would never do something that's stupid. So he's saying it was an accident, which, I mean, doesn't take a genius, I guess, to know that. So he's saying he accidentally took the cup. Always look at your cups, guys. Always look at the cups that you're drinking from. Don't blindly take a cup.
Any espresso cup from anyone.
Don't take any cups. You don't know what's on them because it could be an Arsenal badge.
Or a dodgy lasagna.
God. Well, there you go. Cupgate. That's how Frank has addressed it. We got some super chats let's get into some super chats, and then it's your chance to have your say. That was a long-winded match review, but and also Cupgate. It's your chance to have your say. The link is currently in the chat if you want to come on and talk about today your thoughts on the game, Frank's future. Cupgate, is it real or is it not? Or you can discuss that. Do you buy that Frank didn't see it, or was he nonchalant about picking up an Arsenal cup and drinking out of it? Is he covering his tracks? Let me know in the comment section. Let me get to these super chats. So the first one, I just need to get from the right one, is JRK. Here we are. First one is JRK channel. Blame Spence for the pass. Yet another uncontested rip from outside the box surrendered. Yeah, I mean, and that, I didn't mention that Semenyo, man. He just had so much space to shoot from. No one closing him down.
Richie was the one closing him down from behind. When you're, why isn't
Romero,
one of the midfielders?
I said Romero had a great game, but yeah, he didn't. He was
why are the
nowhere near good
midfielders
enough.
or defenders not going towards the ball? For goodness sakes, it's useless.
And it's something that just keeps happening. We just allow it.
But does this come from Frank saying, well, because it's a low XG chance, shots from outside the box, then they don't need to be closed down?
Probably.
Of course they need to be closed down. If you have the ability of Semenyo from around the box, outside the box, you need to close him down 99% of the time. You cannot let him have that shot. I'm sorry. Not good enough.
Next one is Jamie2387 says defense is shocking, fullback's dreadful, and Romero Van der Ven overrated. No, maybe these guys aren't as good as we think. Maybe that's just reality. I don't know.
No, I don't. I don't think.
Did they win it 4-3 in the end? Go on. What are you gonna?
I don't think they are overrated. I just don't.
Wow.
I think they're not.
4-3 to Newcastle, right at the death.
They are not playing in a system that is conducive with them putting in good performances week in, week out.
Yeah, I think that's the main problem. There are definitely issues with player quality, don't get me wrong. But I think the number one issue...
It's not as deep as...
No, it's nowhere near as deep as what we're
as
seeing, in
what
my
we're
opinion.
seeing.
I think the number one issue is the setup
It's
we have.
and look, the fact that it's the same every time. Why not go into that second half with a different setup? Why not try something different? And used to get slaughtered for not changing things up, for not doing something different. And then when he did change things up and do things differently in the Europa League last season, people got upset at that he changed his philosophy.
Because he went over against his philosophy.
Against his philosophy.
Yeah.
So you could, it's like you can never win with some of these kind of attitudes. It's
next
tricky.
one, Mr. Wolf. Please sack Frank. Football is boring right now.
It's so boring. It's so boring.
Mm-hmm.
It's so predictable. I think it was the Fulham game where we'd given up those early goals, and I couldn't understand what we were trying to do with the ball. I genuinely couldn't figure it out.
Next one, Kong 108 says another dark day, always close, never in. Plus City, yeah, City not winning as well.
Yeah.
Bloody hell.
Yep.
Absolute disaster that,
Yep.
and Arsenal going to be walking the league soon. Cowpole says they played there Sunday, they left me there. I don't know what he's talking about. They played there Sunday, and they left me there. I don't know. Maybe it was something I mentioned before. Sharpie sniffing production says Frank has no presence. He is not a leader. Was there tonight and withered it.
Yep.
Joey Boy says Sim crashing out on my bingo card 2026. When I see my manager holding up an Arsenal cup, that's enough to get anyone crashing out.
Yeah, that was it for you, Sim.
Dropkick Your Teacher says Thomas Wank was seen with an Arsenal cup. It's real. Sharpie again says I think I preferred Enoch Mark 1. Tom Club says stop lying. It did get toxic. Tell going at fans. Ange cupping his ear. Vicario and the away fans. Stop the revisionism. I mentioned Tell, but Tell was talking to the fans about how we got to stick with Ange. That's what he was saying. or stick with what we're doing. Back up what we're doing.
And cup in your ear. Yeah, I liked Ange for cupping his ear to the fans. I know you hated
I
that
didn't
sim.
like it.
You
I
hated
did
that
not
sim.
like
I
that.
remember you hated it. I think that shows a bit of something about you.
You can't go against your own fans.
You can. If your fans are wrong, you can go against your own fans. You can't go blindly with the herd, Sim. You can't go blindly with the herd. And that is what Ange did. He didn't go blindly with the herd. He got us a trophy in his second season. He got us playing the best football we've seen in years in his first 10 games.
That was wrong. Sky Sports is showing. They're showing us with an extra point. We didn't get a point today.
Yeah.
That's so weird. Sky Sports is showing us in 13th. That's a wrong table.
Yeah.
Next super chat. Michael Standen. No comment. Big up to you. Callie says, as I said earlier, Frank is the son of an Arsenal agent who wants to sabotage us. And now I have proof. We have proof, people. Of course he would deny it. Of course he would deny it.
Best mates with Vinay.
They're all gooners.
Get them out.
Daniel Pind says the board need to act quickly before it gets bad. It's already bad, mate.
It's already bad. That's the thing. People don't realise. I want to just say this point as well, Sim. Fans were clapping our team after that 1-1 at Sunderland. Nobody should be clapping a 1-1 draw with Sunderland at home. What is going on at Tottenham Hotspur when this is what is acceptable? I don't want to see you do your little shitty walk around and clap after a...
Yeah, but then they don't. Other fans are going to get angry if they don't do that.
Do you know what? If you haven't won a game at home, I don't want to see you do that stupid walk around thing. I don't want it. Just go into the dressing room and get ready for the next game. I think it's ridiculous. It's a whole part of the ceremony that I'm not down with. I'm not down with it. I think it's ridiculous. If you've put in a good performance and you've nicked a draw in the last minute off like an incredible City side at home, maybe do your little walk around. But a draw, 1-1, when you've had a whole half to score against Sunderland, it's not good enough. It's not good enough. And nothing Frank has done in his tenure has been good enough. But again, this isn't all on him. This isn't all his fault.
No.
He didn't make the decision to hire himself.
True. Michael Standard says Frank needs to go immediately.
Yeah.
What's your views on? We'll get into that. We've already discussed it, I think. Yoon B says it's only 2 p.m. in the US and I fell asleep watching. And Kmart says Ryan Mason available. Get him in. He's inevitable. Mason is inevitable. Some quotes from Frank here. He said it's very difficult. It's really painful. The players put in everything. First half was fine. We started well, 1-1 up, conceded 2 goals from second phase set pieces where we need to be better. I love the mentality in the second half. We went out there and were on top. There was one team out there and it was us. We got more than well-deserved equaliser. We were the team closer to winning it in the end. So to concede an equaliser 5 minutes into added time is painful. It's painful in every aspect. The team works so hard is hard, very hard to take. You can never concede that when you've worked so hard to come back into the game, of course. So that was Frank's assessment of the game. He says it's very tough to sit here right now. We haven't got anything out of overall good performance. I think we started well, got 1-0 up, conceded 2 goals. Oh, is that what he said? I really like the character in the team and from the players. They gave everything in the second half and we were completely on top and keeping going even through disappointment and small setbacks, which we talked about before. Worked very, very hard with the players in the team on that. Don't score inside the post from Ritchie, overturn the penalty, keep going, equalise. After that, I think we are closer to winning than Bournemouth with Mickey's header, with all the good opportunities. So to sit here and concede in 5 minutes is very painful.
Whole load of waffle.
That's his assessment.
His whole load of waffle, Sim. That's what he's written there. What he said there. I don't agree with any of that assessment of the game.
He said the first half was a fine half.
What was fine about it? 2-1 down. That's fine for him. Conceding when you've got a point, conceding in the 93rd, 4th minute, that's okay for him. I don't understand him. I literally do not understand what this guy is trying to say.
It's very painful. He says an overall good performance, and we should have got something out of it.
Overall, a good performance. I don't know what this guy's on. I'm sorry. I really don't understand.
Well, if I'm being fair to him, I thought we probably did deserve something out of the game. In terms of just how the game went. But it's hard to give credit when in the overall picture of our season, when it's like we deserve to get maybe a point in a game where we played a team who are winless in 11 and we ended up losing in the last minute and not winning. So it's not exactly that much to be praised for. But I guess from his point of view, he's trying to say, look, it was a good performance and it's very painful that we got nothing out of it when we were probably the team looking to win the game more. They probably scored against the run of play.
I think he's just clutching at straws and making excuses, to be honest. Dig out the players. Dig out the lack of effort. Dig out them for not closing Semenyo down, for allowing the chance. Dig them out for not getting the third when we had the chance.
All right, let's start getting fans on.
And
let's get George on first, who is there in the chat, ready and waiting to have his say. George, thanks for coming on. How are we doing today? You feeling okay?
Mate.
Mate. First of all, is Cupgate...
I'm in big trouble.
If I speak.
I think we all are.
Is Cupgate real?
Yes.
Yeah, it's real.
So obviously Danny was very adamant it wasn't, so I had to do some research. It was posted by a lady called Catherine Iville. She's been a sports journalist for 2 decades, 20 years. 2006 she signed to AMA Sports Photography Agency, and she's put on a portfolio. There's 2 photos, they're different, but they both have the cup in, and then obviously the quote that's come out on drinking from the cup. He basically says, I did, but I didn't notice it. There is a full, much longer quote about it. I won't bore you with it, but yeah, it's a real photo. Whether you believe he did or didn't see it, I don't know, but it seems to be positioned quite prominently on display. But regardless, yeah, guy's got to go.
It's a horrible look, isn't it? Considering how the season has gone and a lot of our performances and where the season is heading as well. Tell me about the game for you today. Frank says, overall good performance, painful to lose it at the end. What was your take?
He's fucking deluded, pardon my language. But he's saying we're on top in the second half. I don't know what game he was watching, but I don't see how he can see that. I think we were on top for 15 minutes of the game. After that, we're 1-0 up. We sit back and we try and defend a 1-0 lead. That's not Tottenham. And it's been the same for God knows how long since he's been in charge, really, apart from maybe the first 3 games. What was different about those first 3 games? We were attacking. We took some of the biggest teams to the sword. We beat them or should have won or could have won. Since then, it's just been downhill. I was told that he always has slow starts at clubs, but it seems to be the complete opposite way around. He had a really quick start, 3-4 games, then a couple of games mixed in here and there, but other than that, it's been complete diabolical. I can't remember the last time 2 things. A, fell asleep during football matches. That's happened 4 times this season.
Can't blame you.
I also can't remember the last time I said for a manager to get out of the club. Because, as you know, as I've said week in, week out when I come on, always back them because they're part of the club until they're not there anymore, even if you don't agree with what they're doing. The only other manager I've said this with was Nuno, and that was the game before the Manchester United game when he got sacked after that one. And yeah, I think Frank's done. After that, I don't see how he stays past tonight, and I hope Enoch act decisively because I can see it happen, and I said it at the weekend. I can see it happening. We'll be thinking about it. He'll have another couple of bad results, maybe lose in the cup, and then get sacked. And then it will take too long to find a new replacement. January transfer window will be shut. So we need to act decisive.
Yeah.
That's my opinion.
So for you, in terms of the game today, though, you know, I'm in the second half. I think Bournemouth didn't have a single shot up until very late in the game. I think not until the goal, but I think until the game opened up at 2-2, we were kind of very on top. Like, was there not more today than maybe there has been in other games going forward? Where, you know, at 2-2, Van der Ven has that header which was a brilliant save from Petrovic. That could have gone. If that goes in, maybe we win the game. Like, it was fine. Was it fine margins today, or was it inevitable we were losing? Do you think?
It's difficult to say with hindsight, in my opinion, but I I think not playing Kudus had a big effect. Obviously, being out injured, I think that kind of distracted Bournemouth from how they wanted to mark. I don't think they've had enough time to focus on how they're going to defend against us. But it didn't matter because when we had the ball, it was just pass it around the midfield, pass it back, don't create any chances. And as I think one of the super chats during the game said, wait for some individual brilliance. And that's the only way we've scored from open play in how many games now? Don't even know. Six? Five?
Six.
Sorry, what
Six,
was it?
yeah.
Yeah.
6 games.
Since we walked from open play.
Yeah.
Yeah, before today,
Yeah.
it was 6 games, yeah.
And again, it's just down to individual brilliance, not any build up. And we can have all this possession. Like I think we did. It felt like we dominated possession. I haven't seen the stats, but it felt like we had the majority of like over 50% of the possession. But when you don't do anything with it, what's the point? And it just screams mediocrity to me. And I wanted to be so behind Frank. Like, you know, I was so behind Ange, but he's night and day. We were, yes, arguably in a slightly, literally, what, 3 points, 1 point better off, couple more goals at the same point last season. But look at the players we didn't have. Look at the players we brought in, and we did have this season in comparison to it. And then the style of play on top of that. Ange kind of had that as a saving grace. The style of play was entertaining. We were going forwards. We were always creating chances, even when we were 3-0 down. But even when you're in a 1-0 lead with Frank, it feels like it's inevitable. We're going to let it slip. We're going to lose. It's just
Who, in terms of anyone who kind of, but you want to give a particular shout out today? Is there anyone on the pitch who you felt deserves credit or criticism?
See, I think a lot of the players played well. I just think there was certain tactics that have let us down, where we're just not building up. I think Mickey and Romero had a good game. Paulinho, Bergvall was phenomenal, especially in that first half. I even think Xavi Simons was pretty good. Maybe not for the whole game; he sort of tailed off towards the end a bit, but that was when the whole team started tailing off. And again, I think that's down to tactics. For me, man of the match was Bergvall, though. As I said there,
But it looks like he might have a bad injury. I think it looks like.
Looks like his groin's gone again.
Yeah, we're fucked. We really are. If we don't start spending proper like 3 figures into the millions, like I don't see how we're not getting into the top half of the table this season. I really don't. I don't genuinely don't see anything positive in this club at the minute. And it's you weren't neither of you were there when it was Brian and Ben at the weekend, wasn't it? So saying it's making me lose interest, and that seems to be a thing that I've seen from quite a lot of like hardcore Spurs fans. They're just losing interest in it because it's that dire, it's that boring. Like we've been through these ups and downs before, but something just feels different this time. I don't know what it is.
This feels worse to me, George, than a normal up and down of Spurs over the last 5, 6, 7 years, because we were on such an up from Bilbao. It seems like we took a huge leap forward to take about 100 steps back, and I don't. You know, you say to me you want Frank out. I'm with you on that, but where do we actually go from here? Like, do you see a scenario where we get rid of Frank and we bring someone in within the next week or so, 10 days? Like, there's someone waiting in the wings for us? Like, where would you take us?
well, personally, I'd get rid of him and just. Again, I'm a Spurs fan, not a football fan. I don't know enough to say who I'd bring in, but from my very limited experience, I'd try and bring Xavi in.
Xavi,
Um,
yeah.
it, like I said at the weekend, there's no smoke without fire. And I, having had lost interest and not followed much, not been watching many of your videos at the minute, just from lack of time, lack of interest in the club. Um, Even I have seen these rumors, so there can't be smoke without fire, surely. And even one of them said he'd be willing to join the club, and he's come out and said that. So I don't know if it's reliable or not, but I'd take him, and I'd sack Frank
Well,
tonight, like now.
I tell you what, George. I would be happy to roll those dice with you as well. If you told me you could get someone of his ilk in, who the players will respect, who's won everything in the game already. And I tell you what, our midfield passing will look a tad better than it looks now under a Xavi.
Yeah,
Original
and I know this is a
Xavi.
pipe dream. I know this is a pipe dream, but like, give Klopp a call, see if he's bored yet. Like, that's a challenge for him, isn't it?
There
If you
you
want to
go.
prove your worth.
Mate,
But
that'd be the ultimate challenge, and he'd be the ultimate manager to bring in. I just, yeah,
it's not going to happen.
It's
We're
not
not a
going
good
to
enough
happen.
club.
No. We're not of
We're not
that
going to
level.
spend enough.
No, we won't. We
No.
won't
What
spend enough.
for you? I know you think that we should make the change, but for you, the club are. No, there's no real rumours they want to make a change at the moment. There's no real rumours of they're looking at other managers or he's under any pressure. So the word from the club is they're backing him. They're going to give him time. What do you think could possibly be a breaking point for the club? Do you think? Was it hard to? Is it
It's
too
hard to
difficult
say because obviously without Levy there, we don't. It's kind of an unknown. But if it was me, it would be like guaranteed trophyless season apart from like winning the Champions League, which we're not going to do. I don't care how deluded you are. We're not going to win the Champions League. If we go out of every cup before the end of January, it's just not acceptable for a team that I say used to be in the Big Six. I don't even think we're part of the Big Six anymore. I think Villa have very much taken our place. I think Newcastle are on the verge of taking Man United's place over the past few seasons. But everyone's saying that Man United are in a mess. I think it was one of you guys. I think Amir, did you say it? Like you wouldn't want to be Man United? Like,
No,
at
it
least
was
we're
a
better than
super
them.
chat. It
But
was a super chat.
One of the
yeah,
super chats.
and that was it. Amir, you responded, well, they're above us. They are having a better season than us.
They are.
So, like, it's not even just going off of like Premier League or anything. Going off of their whole season combined, they're in a much better position than us. They've done what they've done. I think it's only because Amarim's been that much further in. They've been that decisive. I think if Frank has had a year before this, I think he would have been in.
All right, George.
So I've just seen
Go on.
from Fabrizio Romano, Savinho's out for 2 months.
Well, it sounds like we're not going to be getting him. We're not going to be getting him.
No, you never know. We could sign him and bring him in to sit on the bench and give the medical team a few,
I'll take
more things to do.
Savinho on crutches on our wing at the moment. Why not? Why not? George, it's good to see you, mate. Thanks for calling in, and we'll
Keep
see you
your
soon.
head held high, George. Don't worry. We'll get over this Frank blip.
We're Spurs fans. We should be used to it by now.
Exactly. Water off a duck's back, mate. No worries. Take it easy,
100%.
George.
Have a great evening, guys.
You
Nice
too.
one.
All the best.
All right, who's that? What's that noise I'm hearing? Is that what is it? Stel, we're getting some feedback from. I can hear you, but as in the one off, not now. Okay, let's get Mikey on then.
Hey, hey guys.
Mikey. Thanks for coming on. How you doing, Mikey?
No, I'm good. I've seen Ben and Brian the last 2 times. I haven't spoken to you in a while. Sim, big ups yourself
Yeah, it's
as well.
been a while.
Big up, Mikey.
Yeah. I was hoping to speak to you in better times, but unfortunately, these aren't the better times. These are very dark times, Mikey.
Stel, you're a Spurs fan. What? I've never heard of this phrase, better times. I'm sorry, I don't. don't seem to know what you're talking. Sorry, that interference from Stell is crazy.
Yeah. Stel, can you mute yourself or something so I can hear?
He's not in the frame at the moment. I can see his. There we go. All right. So I've been in the Zoom chat, giving all the updates from all the sources. I'm at my breaking point now. The cup incident has really wound me. That I'm usually quite.
Frank
calm
says
at
he
football
didn't realize. He's actually, there's a bit of a longer explanation.
I saw
said,
that.
He said definitely not noticed it. I think it's fair to say we're not we're not winning every single football match. So it's absolutely and completely stupid of me to take a cup with Arsenal. Is there anyone thinking I've done that? All the staff have done it. They've been in the changing room the game before us. It's normal to take a cup. Give me an espresso. I do that before every game. I think actually it's a little bit sad in football that I need to be asked a question about that. I think we're definitely going in the wrong direction. If we need to worry about me having a cup with another logo of another football club, of course I'll never do that. That's extremely stupid. So is that?
Yes,
do you
it is
accept that?
extremely stupid. Yet it still happens. Like it's not the fact that it happened. It's more the fact that I put it in the chat. It's Spurs have always been like, again, I'm in my friend group, in your friend group, anyone's friend group. You say you're a Spurs fan, you get the jokes, the trophy, whatever. You become the butt of the joke quite easily because you're a Spurs fan. But this is the most egregious example I've seen of pure self-sabotage on that front. It's not coincidence. I don't believe in coincidences, and it's not coincidence that we are having as bad a season as we are, and this has happened right in the dredges. I don't believe in coincidences, and I don't think. I'm not saying he's done it on purpose. It's a bit that to me it might even be divine intervention. At this point, like I at such a crucial juncture, and as we're doing so poorly, that's happened. I can't.
The
I
football
can't deal
gods
with that.
are manoeuvring to get Frank out. Is how we were saying. They understand that he shouldn't be at this club.
I put in the chat Ben Davis, player manager, who says no, and I'm starting to believe that might be a good idea. No, yeah, I've been looking at Chris Cowan. I've been looking at all of the. I've been praying for a David Ornstein bomb, but anything, but nothing of the sort. I've been seeing a couple insiders say that his like Indy Kaler, the guys who had a wet one for David Ornstein over the summer, saying that they've scheduled crisis meeting for tomorrow morning or something, but I never believed.
Indikilia says from a Spurs insider source that the players are bored and they'd rather be painting at school. That's what he said.
I know. Yeah,
That's how much I trust Indikilia. Like that.
Yeah, I've never trusted them. So take that what you will. But then this other, what's his name? This other transfer insider who's been very right about a lot of transfers said that apparently, his job security is coming undone. And from what I see, from what I perceive, Aston Villa Cup game's massive. He loses that with a whimper, he's gone. I fully believe that. I think he's gone if we lose that game with a whimper.
What did you think of getting onto the game?
Yeah.
Did you feel like a loss was harsh? Frank said it was an overall good performance. What did you think of just the overall performance?
I think the loss was harsh on the way we played. I did see some positives. It wasn't Brentford 0-0 levels of awful reporting. Don't get me wrong. Of reporting, awful
Football.
Playing. Sorry.
Yeah.
But it there is no identity. Like when we attack, it seems to be the players. You saw Bergvall take a couple of shots from outside the box. When for the last 2.5 years, they've been kind of coached not to do that. We never take shots outside the box anymore. And Bergvall's taken 2. It seemed like the players are, from what I've seen of Frank, when he isn't all that much of an attacking minded coach. And it seems to be maybe the players, this is purely my view, not a registered view, that it might just be the players taking it on themselves and thinking, I know my position better than this Danish manager. I might just try something for myself. Xavi with the back heel, the improvisation of Tell to cut in and shoot. It didn't scream coaching. It screamed instinct. I don't know. That's purely my opinion, and I think he's been coaching. I think he's been coaching the players. We see the training videos, but it doesn't look like there's much coaching going on. I don't know. The game was a very weird one, but I think on the balance of play, yeah, maybe we deserve to win, but ultimately, as it does so many times, the ball fell for the opposition and not for Spurs.
Did you? He said in the second half we were the only team on the pitch. We were on top, and we were only ones looking to score. Do you agree with that?
No, not really, because the second half was 1-1, so both teams scored. We didn't win the second half. We drew the second half, and we lost the first half. I think we might have been the only player in it, according to his eyes, from down by the touchline.
What about
but
the
for
balance
me,
of play? Performance.
Yeah. I think we were on hand the better team in the second half. I would agree with that. I think we did well, but Bournemouth still had their chance, like that one with Spence where where Unal hits it just wide, came from one misplaced pass and they were on us like a swarm of bees. I know bees are a soft topic right now, but they were on us like a swarm of bees, and it just reminded me a little bit of a club that's lost its way. Like, I was writing a piece for my blog earlier. This isn't a self-promotion, by the way. I wanted to just clear that up, but I was
It's all right.
writing a piece
Go
for
for
my
it.
blog, and I read some Bill Nicholson and Danny Blanchflower quotes, and I feel even more disconnected than ever. I said this on the last couple of streams. I do not feel any connection to what I'm seeing. There's no identity. I don't like to bring up Ange because I think we have to move on from that, but there was at least a relationship. I'm not advocate. I think Ange leaving was right, but his successor is not right. It's not been good, and I think that we've gone from managers to embody the ethos of win with a flourish, game about glory, to this. It's worse than Nuno. It's worse than Mourinho, because, again, as people keep saying, something just feels different. This feels like it could genuinely be the beginning of such a bad run if we don't cap it and nip it in the bud now. Because it's all well and good trying to show faith in a manager, but it might be the wrong manager. I was down the pub and a guy I was speaking to said, Ange at this point was saying, give me a year, but we weren't 14th in our first year under Ange. We were 5th, we were 4th, we were set around the set. We never dropped low as we did. I mean, second season, we sacked off the league and went for Europe, and we won the cup, obviously, as we all know. But I'm not an Ange Harper, but it's such a disconnect. I don't know if you guys agree. Do you guys agree that it just feels like there's a disconnect between the club and the fans at the moment?
Of course there is, Mikey. Of course there's a huge disconnect, and they've caused that disconnect by firing Ange, which is why it was the wrong move. It was the wrong move. Whoever you would have hired, unless it was someone at the elite, level of management, everyone that was going to walk into this job was going to be a failure for me. And I think what you're seeing now is the same old disgruntled Spurs fans arguing between themselves about the manager, which is just where ENIC want us, arguing between ourselves so they can get away with it a bit longer. That's what I see. They've made it. The board and ENIC have made this mistake of sacking Ange and bringing in Frank, and we're not going to get away from this kind of disgruntlement and fan annoyance until you do something that will unite the fan base, like bringing a Pochettino next summer.
No, Pochettino, I'm a little skeptical on his return. I think going back is always a risk, because it risks souring the good relationship. He definitely do better than what we have now. I can fully guarantee you that. I maybe me and you disagree slightly. I think Ange I agree that anyone coming into the job was going to have a tough time. I believe that Ange was sacked at the right time, and short of anyone having a miracle, we knew it was going to be a difficult season. But there are difficulties you can stomach. Frank, I think there was one of the Twitter accounts I follow called All Things THFC listed like a bunch of stuff that this guy's done wrong, and it was like, compare us to our rivals. Say the one thing you can ensure is that we're going to lose games, and I get being real, but you have to be hopeful as well. Football is a hope-driven business. Ultimately results make the money come in, but if you're out there preaching, we're gonna lose, City are better, Arsenal are a more attractive proposition, when we lost our primary transfer target over the summer, Ebereeze, to Arsenal, and then he dunked on us a hat-trick in the derby, at least you want to say, as Ange said, I don't want players who won't fight for the badge. I don't want players who don't want to be here, and that's fair enough. But there's a difference between accepting reality and believing you can't move any higher. And I think it's evocative of his days at Brentford, where he hit his ceiling. I think he's treating Spurs like Brentford in a way. It seems like he's reveling in the challenge of being at a big club and trying to turn them into his own version of Brentford. You know, he was in almost total control along with Benham at Brentford. He was the face of it. He was Mr. Brentford, if you will. And he's come to Spurs and he doesn't have that control. The power structure he worked with, he was appointed through, got torn up at the end of the transfer window. Was there even a proper succession plan? I can't see any internal workings that are going positively. Transfer targets are a premium at the moment. Yeah, we're getting Sousa, apparently. Maybe we can't even land. The Brazilian league is no small league. Don't get me wrong, it's one of the best leagues in the world. But we can't. The financial disparity is there between the Premier League and every other league, let alone the Brazilian league, and we can't even get that landed. It's a mess from top to bottom. It has been for such a long time. But I'm truly at my breaking point now. And I know my breaking point isn't something that a lot of people are interested in, but I think, at least I'm assuming, I speak for a lot of the Spurs fans when I say that the players fighting with the fans, like Van der Ven and Porro were before Vicario and Palhinha had to come and play peacemaker, is it even surprising? It's not, because the fans who were there, I disagree with yelling abuse at the fans, at the players, sorry. Manager, yeah, less so, but it's just so awful to witness. And we've got a massive cup game against, of all teams, Aston Villa. If it was Championship, League One, League Two lower, at least it's, Tamworth aside, it might be a good chance to get some unity back. But it's against Aston Villa, one of the best teams in the league, if not all of Europe, at home, of all places, where we don't have a good record. If he loses and we lose badly, I think he's gone.
All right, Mikey, good to see you.
Yeah, I was
mate.
On there for too long. Sorry.
It's all right. No, you're absolutely fine.
It's good to hear from you, Mikey.
mate. It's nice to see
hear
you.
from you.
No, well,
And,
have a
we'll
good
catch you in a
evening,
bit.
innit?
Keep your head up. Keep your head up.
I'll try.
Come on,
Perfect.
Mikey.
Nice
Come
one,
on,
Mikey. All right, let's see if Stel's ready. Let's get him on.
Here we go.
Let's get Stelios. Stel, my man, it's been a very strange night for Tottenham. We've got Thomas Frank drinking from Arsenal cups. You've got Porro, Van der Ven, Paulinho having arguments with the fans. Semenyo scoring a last-minute winner. And Tottenham maybe playing a bit more attacking football than we've seen in the past 5 games, you can maybe say. How do you assess tonight, Stelios? What are your feelings? Go for it.
Yeah, we lost.
Frank said it was a good overall performance. He said it was a step in the right direction.
We're the only fan base that praises losses.
It's crazy.
Oh, the
One
fan
in
base,
life.
the fans are definitely not praising tonight. Let me get it right. It's Frank is praising the performance.
There's always someone praising a loss. We won in life when we got battered 4-1 against Chelsea. We clapped off the players when we lost 2-1 to Liverpool. And tonight we lost 3-2 and Frank's praising us. It's almost as if losing is the glory now at Tottenham. You know,
Mate,
if we lose,
I heard how amazing we were after losing to Paris 5-3?
5-3, yeah, 5-3.
I heard
What
how
performance.
amazing we are.
Mate, standards are in the mud at this club. Our standards are so low.
So low.
It beggars belief. Do you know, I literally arrived in Cyprus today. I'm here for 5 days. And I managed to catch the second half. And I've got to say, right, we didn't do badly, but we didn't do good. But because not being bad is a positive, we will glorify it to be something really, really good. Do you know what I'm saying? We're so desperate, we're so in need of a 3-course meal that if we're given some crumbs and a little taste of an egg omelette, we think it's lobster and steak because we've completely forgotten what good football looks like, what winning looks like, what entertaining Pochettino type football looks like. We're so void of knowing what that looks like anymore that if I give you a bottle of water and half a Marks and Spencer sandwich, you're going to think, oh, lobster, steak. And I think that's what's happening at Spurs. You get these 15, 20-minute patches where we're doing well and we just glorify it to be more than what it is. Guys, let's have it right. Bournemouth haven't won in 11 games. They haven't won a game of football in 11 games. And then we turn up and they get a win. Nottingham Forest haven't won in 7 games. The only win was, well, when we got battered 3-0 against them. So I think we just got to put some perspective on when we are good, are we really good? Are we really good, or are we just hyping it up because we're desperate? We're so in need of something to make us feel that we actually have a football club that we support.
I would say still, when we're good this season, it's like maybe not last season, but like in other seasons, it would be like a middle of the road kind of okay-ish performance, and that's like our top performances this season, if you know what I mean. Like against Sunderland, yeah. I would say that first half everyone was praising against Sunderland. Like in another season, that would have been like, yeah, we were okay in that first half. This season's like, wow, we were so good.
Go back and watch the first half of the Sunderland game and tell me how many saves their goalie had to make.
Yeah, I don't think he had too many.
None.
Exactly. None. But yeah, we were really good. We were attacking. We were on top of them. Mate, their goalie didn't have to do anything other than the goal that they conceded. That was it. He didn't have to do anything. I just... Amir's right. This is on Enoch. This is 100% on Enoch. But the problem is, it's hard to just go all in on Enoch when the coach is giving you nothing as well.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and let me just run by some things that I've been hearing and things that I've been debating. Okay, since July, August. Okay, Frank's fixed our defence, but yet we conceded 3 goals tonight against a team that hasn't won in 11. We conceded 3 against Nottingham Forest, a team that doesn't know how to win anymore. Okay, they beat West Ham last night, but let's be honest, West Ham are god-awful. Frank starts slow. Someone mentioned it tonight. That chat was spot on. He started fast and then we've collapsed. We just need a coach. But what's been coached? What has actually been coached when you watch us play? Frank's a tactical professor. I think he only tactically changes things when he goes defensive. He's not forward-thinking and risk-taking in his tactical changes. And then the best one of all is injuries are Ange's fault. Well, who overplayed Kudus because they refused to give minutes to Johnson, Tell and Odebert, so they just ran Kudus into the ground? Why has Bergvall picked up another injury? Who rushed him back? Yep. I guarantee you, if Ange Postecoglou did that to Kudus and Bergvall, as a fan base, we'd be going after Ange. It's his fault. He's crippling the players. He's injuring everyone. But when Frank does similar stuff, the bias kicks in, and it's no. It's not Frank's fault. It's not Frank's fault. These things I hear don't make sense to me, guys. Frank's fixed the defence. We always start slow. We just need a coach. Tactical professor. And just thought we got injuries. When you actually analyse it, none of it makes sense to me.
They're what I call nonsense narratives. They're just narratives that people run with, and then they'll go with that, you know. Our defence is much better, even though we look shaky every time a ball comes in. I want to know from your experience of our club, where do we actually go from here? Because it's obvious to me and many other fans that Frank's not the right guy, but I'm a man that I like to try and figure out solutions and where do we actually go from here? Who is the right man for the job? What would you do now in Enoch's shoes? Where would you go after Frank?
Well, I think for me, definitely Frank is not the guy for Spurs going forward. If we want real success at this club, I've said this before. If you chuck £400-500 million at him, he'll get you top four, maybe a good cup run. He's not winning trophies. He's not that guy. So if it's silverware you want and real glory, then we need a winner. We need someone that's a proven winner and someone who is going to play football that fans are going to get behind. I don't think it necessarily needs to be free-flowing, front-footed, amazing attacking football. There needs to be some balance to it. At the moment, we're very lopsided in defending, but when we do attack, we're lackluster with it because we don't practice it enough. Let me share something with you, okay? We ran an analysis on the passing metrics of the whole team, so every single player, compared to last season. Do you know the vast majority of our players, their progressive passes, their passing accuracy, their forward passes, their clinical passes, and their overall possession, most of the players' metrics are down significantly. Bentancur was mid-80s. He's now in the 70s.
Still, what people would argue with that is that because Ange's way of playing was so front-footed and so open that naturally you're going to get more forward passes and you're going to get more possession just because it was so attacking.
Yeah, spot on. But that's the point. He coached it.
Right.
He coached us to pass more and attack more and make more progressive passes. So the reason our passing isn't great and the reason our attacking isn't great and the reason our forward passes, progressive passes, XG, all these metrics, the reason it's down as a whole is because it's not being coached enough. Frank's just simply not coaching it nowhere near to the levels required. Just the same as how Ange didn't coach defending enough. Ange just didn't coach defending enough. If he did that a bit more, he'd probably still keep his job. But he was maybe 20% coach defending, 80% attacking. Whereas Frank he's got the balance in the other way. So when we do actually attack, we're not good at it because we don't coach it enough. We're not working on it enough. If our players are currently working on passing, possession, give and go, 1-2s, one-touch football, forward passes, breaking the ball through the channels, overlapping one in, then pass out, those kinds of things. If we're practicing that, let's say 30% of the training session time, that needs to go up to 50 or 60% because the metrics as a team are down. If, let's say, the metrics were down for Richarlison and Romero, you'd say, right, we've got an individual player problem. Point the finger at the player. But when the whole team is down, guys, that's not individual failure. That's a collective failure. That is coaching. That is a management failure. When the collective collapses, look at the manager. When individual players collapse, then say, right, we've got a problem with the players. But it's the whole team. And it's not just a slight drop-off, it's significant. It's quite a big drop-off from last season. So this is why Frank does need to be held accountable for this, for that side of what's going on at the club.
So why do so many fans not want to hold him accountable still? Why are there so many people just giving him a free pass, give him till the end of the season, chuck a few $100 million at him in January? What has he shown those fans to deserve that kind of?
I think it's two things. I think first of all, let's have it right. The hate towards Ange Postecoglou was so big from some fans that anything but Ange. So whoever came in, brilliant, excellent. Yeah, look how he's fixed us already. You can already see we're more structured. You can already they jumped on the bandwagon without taking a step back and saying, right, what's Frank actually done in his career? What European pedigree has he got? What has he ever won? What's he like when he has to play 2 games a week? If you go and look at when he did play 2 games a week at Brentford, he didn't have many games, but when he did play 2 games a week, do you know his winning ratio went from 52% down to 25%?
Was that in the Championship? What do you mean? Because it was in the Premier League.
Yeah, so let's say he had a cup game midweek and then a Premier League game.
I see what you're saying. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, his win rate dropped by 50%. So if you actually take a step back, put your hate for Ange to one side and actually just look at Frank, it doesn't make sense why we hired a manager for this season that hasn't got winning pedigree, that hasn't got experience of playing 2 games a week successfully, hasn't got any European experience, and he's coming to a big club where the pressure, the expectations are different. It didn't make sense when you begin to look at it. But to answer your question, Amir, it's because so many fans hated Ange. They wanted anything but Frank. I also think the other thing as well is a lot of fans, they're scared of sacking another manager because we can't keep sacking managers. Whereas my counter to that is we need to back the right manager, not keep sacking managers because we're sick of sacking managers. No, we had Conte. We should have done everything we can to back him to the hills, but we didn't. We should have backed Pochettino, but we didn't. You know, so the right managers have come to this club. We just haven't backed them. And what we are doing now is saying, right, well, let's back a manager that has got it all to prove that probably won't be the right manager. And I don't that why fans think like that. I don't know. Maybe it's just because they're fed up of different managers all the time.
I think that's
what
what it is.
That's not the answer, though. That's not the answer.
It's not the answer still, but I think that ENIC have kind of a little cheeky get out of free card to play with this one, because they can sack Frank and they can be like, look, that was Levy's last, decision. That was Levy. The next guy that we're bringing in is our guy. This is who we want to run with for the next 3, 4, 5, 6 years, however long they see fit. Because I think the fact that Levy was here when he was still hired, they might be able to get away with that. But I don't see where they have to go.
Personally, for me, guys, I think sacking him now would be a problem because I don't know who you bring in now for just the next 5 months who's going to get a tune out of them with what's going on at the club. Because if we sack Frank, I don't want to do what Man United have done, interim and all this nonsense. We need the right manager to come in and to back that guy. And I don't think that's going to happen till the summer. For me personally, I would back Frank in this window to get us back into Europe, just to try and finish in a European place, and then deal with him in the summer and bring in a manager that's going to let's take this club forward once and for all. Because if we sack him now, listen, if he stays or goes, I don't care. But if we sack him now, I don't know if that's actually going to work. But at the same time, we can't keep losing games, playing badly, fans booing, drama after every game. That can't happen either. I think what worries me the most, guys, is I look at teams like Leeds, Fulham, Everton. 2 of those teams we beat. We beat those teams. They were all below us. Mate, they've all picked up and progressed as the season's gone on, those teams. Yet we've gone backwards. How is that possible? And then I look at,
Bournemouth have not won for 11 games. They're now 1 point behind.
This is what I mean. This is what... Leeds have got so much better as the season's gone on. Everton have got better as the season's gone on. And we beat both those teams. Fulham have got better in recent months. How are they improving and we're not? Is it simply just they've got better owners? They've got better players? They've got better training facilities? What is it?
Where do you stand on this, the whole debate? Is it who's more to blame? Is it the players? Is it Frank? Like, when you look at the squad, I'm sure you've got problems with it. But... how bad do you think this squad actually is? Do you think you look at for example players like Tell tonight? I thought he had a pretty good game tonight, Matisse Tell, but he's been so underused this season. Like, is Frank getting the best out of these set of players, or is this the best they got to offer?
I'm gonna answer your question with a comment. A good friend of mine who is a top coach, right, really good coach, said to me. Said it to me last week. He goes, if Bergvall didn't come to Spurs and he actually went to Barcelona, how good do you think he'd be right now? And I think that answers the question.
And you think that's for a lot of our players?
maybe not all, because I think there's some players at this club that just shouldn't be here. They just should not be here. But there's certainly players at this club, in my opinion, have regressed, partly under Ange and under Frank as well now. But I also feel that the way we're set up just doesn't work for us. You know, I don't think we're getting the best out of Xavi Simons. I don't think we're getting the best out of our fullbacks, wingbacks, whatever you want to call them. I don't think we set up in a way that's trying to dominate games and control games. Not to say that we will win, because I don't know if we would win, but we'd definitely be. The intent would be better, and I think it would be better on the eye as well. But one thing that really bothered me, like the last couple of weeks, guys, and this is why I've really, really kind of got to a place now where I just don't believe in Frank, is this. When the troubles began, I think pretty much every single fan said that, but look at the attackers we've got, they're all crap. And then fans started arguing, are they crap or is it Frank? And then the argument was, yeah, but he had Mbeumo, Wissam, Norgard, Ivan Toney. Look at what he had at Brentford. We played Brentford the other day, and the manager, Keith Andrews, didn't have Mbeumo, didn't have Wissam, didn't have Norgard, didn't have Toney. What happened in that game? Look at where Brentford are in the league. They won again tonight. How is it Keith Andrews, Frank's ex-set-piece coach, takes over at Brentford, doesn't have any of the top attackers that Frank had, and he's outperforming Frank and outperforming Tottenham?
They're fifth, Brentford.
But Frank needs Mbeumo, Wissam, Norgard, Toney. But Brentford don't have those players anymore. And look, Keith Andrews is doing a better job with Brentford than what Frank did without Frank's top players. Guys, I can't accept that. In my head, I try and make sense of it. I try and analyse it to find a way to say, but I can't. You can't make sense of it. He's doing a fantastic job with less tools at Brentford than what Frank had. What does that say about Frank then? I'm not here to bash Frank, guys, because I don't think he's a terrible coach. I don't think he's an awful manager. I don't think, he's Santini or, Christian Gross. But when you just compare him to what's going on around us with other clubs, smaller clubs, lesser managers, less resources, players that aren't as good as the squad that we've got is, it doesn't make sense, guys. It doesn't make sense at all. And the only thing I can put it down to is Frank is not getting the best out of these players. He simply isn't. And the more I look at it, the more I analyse it, the more I look at the metrics, the more I compare players this year to last year at Spurs, everything shows that as a whole, we have significantly dropped under Frank and his coaching team.
How's our XG still? How's our XG?
It wasn't. Well, it was level with Bournemouth tonight. Wasn't so bad. 1.4
season to season.
Oh, it's
comparison.
awful.
How far are we behind?
Very far.
Everyone. I don't want to make this Ange v Frank, but Ange got blamed for everything last season, like everything.
He did.
And now we're seeing the same shit. Then if fans are going to be genuine, then you need to blame the manager the same way you blamed Ange. Or say, actually, we were harsh on Ange. We were a bit too harsh on him, which is why we're not being as harsh on Frank, because we actually got it a bit wrong with Ange. But no one's said that.
It's worse than being harsh.
No one has come out and said that.
It's worse than being harsh. We have a lot of ungrateful fans, I would say, as well, when it comes down to the Ange bashing and the Ange hate. There were some people in there that didn't want to see us win that trophy just so they could bash him some more. Let's be real. And a lot of these same fans are the ones saying, give him another half a season. He needs back in January. The same old things that we've heard.
See, the big problem we've got now, guys, is as a club, we can't attract top players because we look like a joke. Always changing managers, rarely winning anything. Okay, we won something last year. the club's always got drama around it. We're not a very we're not a club that agents would say to players, yeah, go there, go, go be a success there. So as a club perspective, ENIC have wrecked us. From a footballing perspective on the pitch, who wants to come and play for this Spurs team under Frank? Who is Frank realistically going to attract that is a top player to come to this club, playing this kind of football, losing every week, 14th in the league, battered by Forest, Bournemouth, their first win in 11 games. All the teams we beat that were below us, like Leeds and Everton, they've either caught us or they've gone above us. You wouldn't come here to be coached. You wouldn't come here to play in this manager's team. You wouldn't come here to work under ENIC. What is the pull factor of Tottenham right now for a top player? If you're a really good player, what is
money
the pull
and
factor?
lifestyle? That's it. Money and lifestyle. Mercenaries. That's who we're getting. These are the players that we're getting.
Yeah.
These are exactly that.
Yeah. Going back to tonight, Stel, was there any players maybe you think you can take positives from, or anything that in the team? You know, Frank said overall was a good performance. It was a step in the right direction.
I can't even hit. When you say that, Sim, it just annoys me. It just annoys me. How can you say a good performance?
Well, in the second half we dominated. He said.
We dominated. What?
Is there any player you thought had a good game?
Listen, I mean, Paulinho, I thought he done well. I thought Paulinho done well for us tonight.
Do you think Tell had a good game?
He started off brightly, but again, you see, the issue with Tells and Odeberts and these attacking players, you will never really know what they can do unless you give them 10 games in a row. Even if they have a couple of bad games, keep playing them, because a lot of the learning of a player is done when times are hard. Mikey Moore's a great example. Got off to a bad start at Rangers, but they kept playing him. Now they're singing his name. He's scoring goals in the Celtic Rangers derby. He's doing all right there because they kept playing him, and that's how you develop. So, look, I don't really rate Odegaard and Tell personally, but I can't categorically sit here and say that these two players can't do anything for Spurs at all unless they're given, a good 10 games back to then say, look, you've had 10 games. Don't forget, it took Gareth Bale about 10 games in a row before he clicked. Yep. I'm not saying these guys are Gareth Bale, because they're not, but it's hard to tell, Sim. It really is with a lot of our players. And also, I look at the fullbacks. I don't think Porro's rubbish. I don't think Spence is no good. I think they're good fullbacks. I just don't think Ange inverted them, which I don't think works for fullbacks, although Porro got quite a lot of success from that. And Frank just doesn't play them in an attacking way where they've got protection of a six that sits deep and covers the flank when the counter attack comes on. So we're not getting the best out of them either. It's so difficult to judge a lot of these players at the moment because of the way they're set up and the way we're told to play. I think there's some players that just shouldn't be here. Like for example, look, I know he's our top scorer, and whilst he's our top scorer, he has to play because where else are the goals coming from? But Richie's not good enough, man. Richie shouldn't be wearing the Spurs.
Would you not say we looked a lot better when he came on tonight?
He has impacts in games, like he did against Liverpool. Came on, we suddenly were all over Liverpool.
Chaos.
And he has moments that creates a kind of environment that we thrive in, that he thrives in. But as a player, to receive the ball, lay it off, head it on, take a touch, play a 1-2, keep possession, drive a goal, beat a man, bullet shot, bottom corner. He's got none of that. He's got absolutely none of that. The only thing he's got is once in a while he scores like a Puskas goal. Yeah. Scored a couple against Burnley, scored one against Arsenal, He's got a Puskas goal in it, but that's it. So there's players like him that shouldn't be at this football club. He's not good enough. He's not. I also think that there's, I look at the midfielders, guys. I'm not convinced by Archie Gray. I'm not convinced by him. I know he's had some good games, but I'm just not convinced by him. But again, Is this system working for him? Are we playing the kind of football that suits Archie Gray? I don't know. I don't know, guys. These are questions I can't answer because I haven't seen that opportunity given to them to know. But I don't think we've got the level of quality that we had when Poch was manager, though. I think that's fair to say. We don't have Wanyama's, Christian Eriksen's, Musa Dembele's,
way off
Jan
it.
Vertonghen's, Danny
we're
Rose's.
way
We
off
don't have
it.
that.
We're way
Yeah,
off.
we don't have that.
But then what I'll argue to that, Stel, is before Poch took over, we'd probably say a lot about the players that you just mentioned, like we do about our current players. You know what I mean? Like a lot of the players weren't rated before Poch took over.
Well, Carl Walker and Danny Rose were average until Poch got his hands on them.
Vertonghen was seemed like Romero, like he didn't care. He says we want out, and like there was similar type of vibes like Romero. But Dembele, people were done with Dembele. People wanted him gone.
Crazy.
Like they thought he was rubbish and overrated.
Well, the club wanted to sell Harry Kane. Remember?
Kane as well. Like a lot of that squad that you mentioned wasn't rated very highly, and then Poch was able to get the best out of all of them.
See, and then again, this is something I heard from fans that Mbeumo, Wisa, Tony, no one had heard of them until Frank got his hands on them.
Mm-hmm.
But we're just not seeing it at Spurs. I get he's only been here 5-6 months, but we've seen nothing. Like, what, if I was to ask you two a question, what have you seen from Frank in terms of tactics, in terms of player development, in terms of the football we play? What have you seen that gives you some optimism that he is the right guy for Spurs? Have you seen anything to suggest, do you know what, let's just hold tight?
Me personally, no. I think the only hope you would have is that he starts playing in a different way. That's the only hope you had. The longer he has, he would develop a different way of playing. But I think this is what he's got to offer. I don't really think he's got another level up his sleeve. I just think it needs better. From his point of view, the way of playing needs better players. Like, not that the system is the problem, but I think this way of playing, I don't know if I think he thinks it's a sustainable way. You just get loads of crosses in the box. You just pump it down the line all the time. You go long. You rely on set pieces. You make sure you're not committing too much risk. You make sure you're preventing shots from high XG areas. You make sure you're taking shots from high XG areas.
Yeah.
Like that's his way of playing. That's what got him success at Brentford. I don't think he's going to start implementing some possession-based, playing through the thirds, I agree. A progressive kind of football. I just don't think that's his way. And so even if we pump loads of money and we start getting better results, I don't know if it's ever going to be something that the fans take to in the long term, even if he's a success. Like, for me, it's just horrible to watch. It's not the football we should want from a Tottenham manager. In my opinion. Do
you know one thing that doesn't add up for us going forward is that Frank is a so-called coach that develops players, and look what he did with Tony, Wisa, etc., etc., etc. If that's the case, should we not just be buying players that he can develop and turn into those players? Because that's what his skill set is. Because what I'm hearing from many fans is we need top players, we need to sign top players. But that's not what Frank's about. The whole point of Frank is he's good at developing players, not signing the finished article. Because if we're going to start signing the finished article, then surely you bring in a manager that has the skill set of working with those players, like Conte, like Mourinho, like Ancelotti, like those. I'm not saying those managers exactly, but if you're going to bring in top players, bring in a manager that's got the experience of working with them and winning. Not a manager whose experience is keeping a team kind of in the Premier League by developing talent and finding hidden gems that then become really good in the future, because that's what Frank's about. Yet we're saying we want a transfer policy that's different to his skill set as a manager.
But again, are we not, back to your question still, are we not following a little bit of a narrative here that he's good at coaching these players? Because you tell me now, I'll name you a player.
That's what he did at Brentford. That's what he did at Brentford. That's why I say it. That's what
I
he did at
get
Brentford.
it, but is this a narrative that he can do this at Tottenham? Because has he improved Bergvall? Has he improved Odebear? Has he improved Tell? Has he improved Xavi? Has he improved any of our young players? What's he done to any of our young players? Have you seen any improvement that gives you hope that he could do that with Spurs players? He's let Johnson go, who was our top goal scorer last season. What's he done with any of the others? Who's got better?
Again, when you proper analyse it, this is where the whole conversation unravels, because
I agree.
you can't say anyone's massively improved. You could say Odebert looks better this year. You could say that
In flashes.
Bergvall has had good moments. But if you to actually say, name a player who's really looks like a really well improved player consistently, the only one is Van der Ven. But I think that's just because we're not defending on the halfway line. We've dropped the defence back, so naturally he's better because he's not having to kill himself every 10 minutes making an emergency sprint back to save the team. But other than Van der Ven, I don't know. I can't see it. I agree with you.
Stel, we've been running over a bit, so I'm going to have to let you go. Before we do, any mention on Cupgate? We didn't really get your reaction to that. Is it a storm in a teacup, as they say? Or is it something more to be had?
Sim, I'm straight to the point. I just don't care. I don't care. These, it's like when Ange had a fracas with a fan, and now, Frank and Cupgate, and there's always these things are good for banter and memes and just have a bit of a laugh to just forget the football. But I just don't care. I tell you, look, if our football was good on the pitch and we were winning games, no one would give a shit about Cupgate. No one would care about it.
It's true.
It's an issue because the football's poor and we're losing games. That's why it's an issue.
If we had won that 3-2 with a 3-2 last,
I think if we win that, people laugh at it. But because we lost,
Exactly.
it's like this bloody gooner, he's sabotaging us.
He is.
Yeah, it's one of those things. Look, Stel, it's good to speak to you as always, mate. Good having you on.
Enjoy
We'll
Cyprus.
see you soon.
Yeah. Have a good one, guys.
Take
Cheers,
care.
Stel.
Take care.
Nice one, mate. All right, that was Stelios. And now let's get Spurs Are My Life. He's in the back end. Let's get him on. How you doing, my friend? Thanks for coming and joining us.
Hi guys, how are you today?
Yeah, we're doing well.
good.
We're getting by. What was your take on the game? Frank said, good overall performance, heartbreaking to lose at the end. What was your thoughts?
Have you ever been able to be in like an awkward situation? You just know someone's lying, but you can't prove it.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like that's what he's going for. It's like you watch his demeanor in like the presses, and it's like you can tell he's got like his tail between his legs, but he's got this like calmness about him almost, where he's kind of hides it. I just think me personally, I see right through it. I think tonight there were a few good individual performances. I thought Tell was extraordinary. I thought that was his best game in a very long time.
I agree. He's not getting enough praise for me. I thought he was fantastic.
Yeah, I thought he was class tonight. I really think he did. Like, I thought just relentless, taking on Jimenez over and over again. The goal was
Brilliant.
Maybe Petrovic should have done a bit better, but like to create a half a yard and then bend that, whew, what a goal. But
It begs a question why he's been so underutilized this season, like when he's playing like that.
dude, I'll get into something later. It's something I was talking about in the chat and about him. I got an interesting take about that. But I think he's definitely one who I was proud of tonight. Bergvall looked very, very good before he went off injured. And Joao Palhinha, what a player. That guy's ruthless. He is an enforcer in that middle of the field. Sure, he can't string a 2-yard pass together forward. Sure. But the tackles he puts in, he's just a player that it's like anytime he makes just a big tackle, you just like, don't, that's my player. You know what I mean? But he reminds me of Wanyama, like in the sense of like, he'll just like pulls out a crazy screamer every once in a while. But obviously Wanyama, and there's multiple differences there on the ball. But I thought there were a few individual performances tonight. Romero in the air, brilliant as always. Van de Ven's tackles were very good. Here's my only player I'm going to bash tonight, and I really just I'm running out of patience with him, is Rodrigo Bentancur. The guy has to go. He is consistently, when I watch the game, the worst player on the field. He makes several passes that go out of bounds that are maybe 8 to 10 yard passes. There was one play tonight where he tried to play Spence, and he just, I think it was in the first half, he just missed him by like 5 feet behind him, and then went out for the corner, and the crowd was taking the piss, whoa, like having to go at him. But like, you've been here, how long has it been? 4, maybe 3 years? It's like, dude, like, you've been an established member of this team. You're a senior player, and you've got to set an example. And I just really didn't think he had it tonight.
Yeah,
but go on.
No, just one thing with that, with Rodrigo, for me, I would agree with you. It wasn't one of his best performances, but from my perspective, sat here, I was seeing him not having a great game in that first half. Thought maybe, you know what, why not stick Gray on and give Gray a half in the second half? I couldn't understand why, in a game against Bournemouth, do we need Bentancur and Paulinho in that double pivot? Why do we need them there? Why not put a more attacking player on?
My friend, they can't go forward, Amir. Like, genuinely, like, you want to take, it's Bournemouth. I understand they're playing well, and I understand. But it's like David versus Goliath. And when you really think about it, if you go player by player in the squad, like, we outclass them. That middle of the park, like, I think it was Alex Scott, who I would love us to sign him, by the way.
Oh, he's brilliant.
Spurs fan, hell of a player. Oh, he's brilliant. But he's pretty weak, and he's young. You think like a guy like that, you to like muscle off the ball, move, progressive pass forward. I feel like Gray would have done that. I feel like Gray didn't get too many chances on the ball. But again, why is Frank subbing him on with like 8 minutes left? Like, these guys need opportunities to grow in the game. Yeah. But I agree with you there, absolutely.
Yeah. So, anyone else like how you have praise for tonight apart from Tell?
I thought Matty was really, really good. I thought I didn't really think Porro did too bad. Like, I thought Porro was kind of average. I'm just trying to go through the players. I think the two center halves did well. I thought Paulinho was excellent. Player of the match for me today is Tell. I thought Colin Wani had a stinker. I kind of felt bad for him. He just didn't really get into the game too much. I agree with what Stell said. I don't think Richie is good enough, but I thought he looked pretty lively tonight. Hit the post, and, maybe on another day that goes in. So I think those are kind of it for me in regards to player ratings, yeah. But also, real quick, I think I mentioned it once before. I'm goalie when I play, and I'm a small guy. That Semenyo goal, you watch it back. It's a great goal. It looks like it. But it reminded me of Ayari's goal against Brighton earlier this season. It's kind of a straight shot. There's not really any curve on it. It's kind of just like, you expect a 6'5" professional shot-stopping goalkeeper. I don't think he should be rooted to the ground. I think if he sticks a hand out, I think he has a chance. If you watch it back, I think maybe he could have done a bit better there for Vicario there.
So,
one more thing I wanted to add.
So where does this leave Frank for you? Is he on his last legs? Do you think the club will think about sacking him? And where are you at with him?
As a very funny fan once said, "It's time to go, blood." I think he's got to go. I don't think when the players are going at the away fans, those loyal fans who drive. Listen, I'm not a geographical UK expert. I'm Canadian, but I gotta imagine London to Bournemouth is quite far. Those people who spend it's a cold South Coast night. Those people spend all their money. And for them, the players to have a go at dude, I understand they might get dogs abuse, but that's part of the game. Like, that's an aspect as a professional. You got to put up with that. So I think, and I think it was Stell who said it last week before I came on, that he didn't clap the home fans and the away fans are. I don't know if you noticed, but they were booing every backwards pass, and oof, it's just not looking good for him. Like, I just feel like, sometimes it's not really. I don't want to say it's Frank's fault. It's just not a really good fit. I just don't think he's the guy.
Yeah, I agree with you there completely. I don't think it's his fault at all. He wasn't. He was basically given this job, saying, "Here, look, here's a marvelous, amazing job. Do you want to take it? we think you're the right man. The mistake is the board making that move in the first place.
Yeah. I think it's flawed. I think it was a flawed process they went through.
Completely flawed process. And the question now needs to be is how do we get Tottenham Hotspur purring again? And for me, I'm a bit more clear cut on it. I think we need to cut ties with him and have a plan B and say, okay, where do we go from here? And we look at, for me, we need an elite level manager. We can't go with somebody who's never won anything in his career. We can't gamble and just say, oh, we'll look at this guy because he's done well in the Belgian league.
For me, it's more, yeah. I think for me, it's more like we need to take people at the body of on the body of the work that they've done, and take it on that, and not assume they're going to come here and do something different to what they've done.
Yeah.
And so when
That's
you
fair.
appoint Frank, and I know he's done a good job at Brentford, but you saw the football he played at Brentford.
Yeah, we did.
So I don't understand the thought process of thinking he's going to come here and play different football at Tottenham. Like, that's not really how it works. He got success doing it one way.
Yeah.
He's going to continue doing it that way. So if it's a different manager who has a different style of football, like, I don't care if he's won anything necessarily. It's more about what he's capable of doing at a certain level. And for me, there's no evidence for me that Frank is the kind of guy we want at this football club. And I hate the way he talks about this football club, and I hate what he says, like in his press conferences. And I just can't stand it.
Yeah, I saw a funny meme on Twitter or X, whatever it's called these days. The scene from Breaking Bad where it's the one old man in the wheelchair and he's like clicking the bomb before it goes off, and it was saying Levy hiring Frank before eventually leaving. And I just thought that was pretty funny. But I'm like, it's kind of true. It like I feel like it was his like
true.
one last laugh, it's like one last fu. But I agree with you. I do believe in a project. I really do. I just don't think he's the right guy, and I don't really think it's entirely his fault. I just don't think he's got the best out of these players. I think there's two that we could look at to really improve this squad and drive them forward. Kind of just depends on which route you want to go down. I think if you want to go down the youth route and build a kind of a young core that can eventually blossom into some good players, I think you go with Xavi Hernandez. And anybody who says that, we're not getting Xavi in, guys, we've got a ton of money. We've got a £150 million war chest to play with. Rather than going for players, why don't we sign a big manager? I mean, I think that's the best. I think the manager is your building block. I think kind of from there, that's the foundation that holds up the house. So I think if you get a strong foundation, your house isn't going to be torn down. I think he's the right guy if you want to go for youth. I think if you want success with this team, I think you go Edin Terzic. He was the coach of Borussia Dortmund a few years ago. In one season, he took Dortmund, if I'm not mistaken, from 4th to 2nd. They lost on the final day to Bayern on goal difference. And they also made the UCL final for Borussia Dortmund, who, to be honest, we play them in a few weeks' time. We're not, obviously they're better than us right now, but we're not miles different. I really think Terzic would do very well with this team. So I think those are the two things of the future. But for two things that I really want to see, and this is going to be a very hot take, but I really think that Mathys Tel can be the answer on that left wing. I really, truly, wholeheartedly believe that. A 20-year-old Frenchman who is hungry. He has sat on that bench, and he has not been played. He's not been utilized right. I think you've got to play guys like that. Give him a run in the team. You look at what he did today, like giving himself half a yard, linking up with Spence as his fullback. Like, there's potential in there. Like, I really do see a player in there. Yeah. He was scoring goals at Bayern when he was like 18.
Yeah.
And for Bayern, those are big expectations. Yeah. So I really think if you bring in a young-oriented, like, developing manager, I really think he can blossom into a very good player. Maybe not a Gareth Bale or a Sonny or anything, but I really see a potential in him. He's a brave young kid, too. Even talking in the media and interviews, he barely speaks English, but he's going out there defending the fans. I remember at the Cottage last year, he was out with the fans. And I feel like that's the kind of guys you got to go for. And I know this is going to sound mad, but I don't understand why Frank didn't sub on Williams Barnett today. Yeah. A 17-year-old kid who loves this team, who's been ripping it in the U23s, scoring goals and assists for fun. you need a creative outlet. Nothing's working. You may as well try it. I think, like, I wholeheartedly believe that if we go for a young developing team, I think 2-3 years time, I think we'll be serious title contenders. I really do believe that.
All right. Well, thanks for calling, mate. Nice
Yep.
to see you as always.
Absolutely,
and, we'll
guys.
see you soon.
Very good call.
Go on. What are you
Yeah,
gonna say?
always a pleasure to talk. Take care, and I hope everyone enjoys their evening in the chat. Thank you guys for putting up with my talking tonight, and I hope everyone enjoys.
No, we didn't put up with it. It was a pleasure. The
Very
pleasure
good,
was
very good call. And I'd agree with you on Xavi Hernandez, mate.
I think he is class.
Give Xavi a go. I'm willing
Mate,
to
do
give
you
Xavi
get
a go.
me Xavi in right now and switch him up with this Frank Bozo? I'm gonna be delighted with life.
Has anyone ever told you
Xavi
that you
squared.
look at,
We're coming for the lead.
That's
Has anyone
it.
ever told you look a bit like Alex Scott? I think there's a little Alex Scott kind of resemblance.
You know, that's not the worst one. I've heard worse. So I appreciate that.
Nice
Always
one.
a pleasure, guys. Take
He's
care.
also a Spurs fan. But anyway, big up. Big
Take
up.
care. All
Bye,
the
guys.
best.
Enjoy.
Bye.
All right, Spurs are my life. Let's move on to Jack. Let's bring Jack on. Jack, nice to see you, my friend. Thanks for calling in.
How are you guys doing?
Yeah, it's a weird night tonight. It was a strange one. A lot of maybe positives from the performance to take, but in the end, a damaging defeat. Frank holding an Arsenal Cup. The players going at the fans at the end of the game. Just on the game, where were you on tonight? Frank said it was an overall good performance and it was heartbreaking to lose at the end. He said in the second half there was only one team in it. What was your assessment on the game?
Well, it's been like this all season. We're having to rely on individual brilliance to get points. Like Polina scored a bicycle kick today. You know, like we're having to rely on these. Even like Tell's goal, like it was a great strike. Like we're just having to rely on these individual brilliance rather than actually, carving teams open, trying to do, other things. But I mean, against as well, like I think Richie's our top scorer, but like we're again like against who was at Newcastle, Romero scoring a bicycle kick. Like we're just having to rely on these individual brilliance to actually get us out of games. And if this was the end of the season, I would sack Frank, but there's no point sacking him now because A, who are you going to bring in, and B, like what are they going to change? Like even like a Xavi or a Glasner, like Spurs fans wanting Glasner, and he's just like Frank, he's a mid-table manager. But if you bring Xavi in, right, like we've got an FA Cup game in 3 days, and I think that's our only chance of silverware and success this season because we've been crap this season. But like I don't see what a manager that comes and change unless it's like a Pep Guardiola or something like that. Like it's not going to change. So we were a bit better today because at least we created a bit and did a lot more. But again, like Frank says, he's trying to work on us defensively. We're pretty poor defensively. Some games, like against Brentford, we were good defensively when we lost, when we drew 0-0 and when we won 2-0 against them. But I don't know where it is from here, to be honest. It's either you sack Frank, get another manager, and the process starts again, or you keep him and keep getting fed this dross week in, week out. So I'm not 100% sure where to go from here, to be honest.
He says we're a team moving in the right direction. Tonight was more evidence of that. That's what he says.
Sorry.
Well, it's just like one step forward, 5 steps back. It's like, we have one good performance defensively, and then the next game we concede 3 goals. Like, especially like some of the passing today. Like, oh my god, I don't know if you guys saw like players like they're incapable of making a 5-yard pass. It's like Bentancur gets the ball and he like lose it every time. In my opinion, I don't think Bentancur is good enough. I think he's way too inconsistent. He has one good performance every 15 games and then he's just not good enough. But again, like we just have a lot of average players. I was actually comparing our squad to like the top like Arsenal, Man City's, and I don't even think one of our players gets into their squad, like their starting 11. I don't even think. Maybe Liverpool, you could argue Van Dijk ahead of Van de Ven ahead of Canate, but like that's just our squad is not good enough. I mean, we have good players, but it's just not players where we want to be. We're a Champions League club. We hired a mid-table manager because we thought sacking Ange was the right idea, which I guess it was the right idea at the time, but we're just sitting in the same position again, and it's just so frustrating.
I feel your pain, Jack. I feel your pain. I just want to know something. You said the game against Villa is our last chance at a cup. Have you just written us off the Champions League completely? We can't win that one, no?
Well, it's like the FA Cup, right, is definitely, without a doubt, every Spurs fan will agree it's our best chance for a trophy this season, right? Because we're not
100%.
winning the league with the way we're playing, and we're not winning. I mean,
100%.
the Champions League, we're doing well, but to win the Champions League, you have to be better than what we're doing at the moment.
Yeah,
and
you're realistic. You're realistic.
I highly doubt that we're winning the Champions League. I know I've watched your guys' channel for a while, and I know Sims Frank out, but I mean, I don't know what to say at the moment. It's just either, like I said before, either you sack him, you bring in another manager, the process starts again. They start well, then have a few bad games or a lot of bad games, and then the fans turn against them, and then they get sacked, and then it starts again. Or do you stick with Frank and keep getting fed this dross? But Champions
go on.
League, I mean, we could do well. We could at least get to the round of 16. Was it round? Yeah, I think round of 16 or.
Hopefully we'll get to the playoff at least. I think.
Yeah, definitely. I mean,
we can't not. I think we've already qualified for the playoffs. I think we've got a good.
Well, if we finish in the top 8, you go straight to the playoffs, and then you finish below the top 8.
Top 8 is straight to the round of 16.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So we could finish in the top 8, but I don't know. But yeah, it's just the same thing, and I'm just so worried that. This is because we are. What did we finish last season? 17th, and we sacked Ange, brought in a manager who we thought better. But I like Frank. Like he's a good manager, but he's a mid-table manager. He managed a team like Brentford, who took them to like mid-table, got some good players like Kevin Sade, Thiago. Oh no, he didn't have Thiago. Who else did he have? Like Damsgaard and stuff.
Mbeumo
and then
Tony.
Yeah, and Buemo, who obviously went to Man United, and Damsgaard, who went to Arsenal. But it's just a mid-table manager. Like, we want a winner. Or not a winner, but like we want either a good manager that we can back, or we want a manager that's a winner. Like Ange, Conte, and Mourinho, they were all winners. Frank is more of a long-term project, but it's so hard to see this project when these are the type of games and results you're seeing. Like, we have to find ways to win games, and I don't understand why he's starting with Polina and Bentancur in the midfield against Bournemouth. Like what? Like, I mean, even if it relies him to play Gray and Polina or something, like give that a go. Stop playing like the same team. I mean, I like him to change it up, but he's just, I don't know. This is just completely speechless in how bad we have been this season, unfortunately.
Oh, please don't tell me it's a long-term project as well, Jack. I don't know if I can.
That's what they say, but that's what the board want.
I can stand this for a few years of this. I couldn't.
For you, when is we're 6 months into the Frank project, and I think everyone can agree it's not really going great. But when, for you, is it fair to really start judging him? Is it fair now? Is 6 months long enough to see what kind of football we're going to see, or does he need more time to show what he can do?
Well, I mean, it's hard, right? Because I think it was Arteta in his first few seasons at Arsenal. He finished 8th, and the fans were really mad. He could have got sacked at so many points. But the problem with sacking Frank now is we're right in the middle of the season. The manager you're going to bring in is not going to be able to, like. I personally think the squad's not good enough, but I also think Frank is not getting the best out of the players, because. Like, especially you guys obviously know this, but when you get Kudus, right? Kudus is on the ball. He's got like 4 players around him. Like, what do you want him to do? It's like you're asking every player in the front line to be like prime Messi and just dribble through everyone. Like, what do you want him to do? Like, there's no. I mean, I guess like some of the front players are pretty able. Like Richie, he works hard. He's a top goal scorer, but he's not good enough. And I guess Mwani's average as well. I guess Tell and Odeberry are youngsters, so they've still got to improve, but. We just need to get like some players, like some quality. Like, it's funny because at this point last season we had all our backline out and all of our front players fit, because we had like Solanke, Maddison, Cully, and Sonny. They were all still fit. But now we have Cully, Solanke, Maddison out. Sonny's left, and we have our whole backline fit. Like, it's just never this balance. But yeah, I mean, I guess you just keep it till the end of the season. Personally, keep it till the end of the season, and you can actually see, okay, what have we improved on? Because the performances right now are unacceptable, and I think if we were later in the season. He could have potentially already been sacked, and if he gets sacked, I don't really care. But if he also stays, I don't care. It just kind of depends what happens in the long term, because it's not going well. And I thought the season was going to be one for us: Champions League football, all that stuff, building off the momentum of Bilbao. But now it's just we're in this position where nothing's happening.
Do you think we deserve to lose tonight? Was it harsh that we lost?
I think it should have been a draw. I mean, we weren't we. The thing I was happy about tonight is we created a lot more. Like we've been so bad this season with creating. Like I think against when we lost 3-0 to Forest, we had one shot on target. But like we created a lot more. But again, there's this thing of like we defend. Frank wants us to get us to defend well, right? We concede 3 goals today, and we create a bit more. And then a game where we don't create, we defend well. Like against well, usually like against Brentford, right? We defended quite well, and then we just didn't go forward. But I don't know. Like I don't think Bournemouth deserved to win, but we were not good. Like I think a draw probably should have been a fair result. Like I said at the start, relying on Polina scoring a bicycle kick. Who scored our first goal? Oh, yeah, Tell.
Tell.
He cut inside and great strike. But it's just we never see. I think Tell's goal was our first goal in open play in like 10 hours of football.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like that's actually ridiculous, and we still consider ourselves a top 6 club, which is crazy.
Who does? We're not a top 6 club. Who does, Jack?
Well, we're still
we're
like,
not
I
a
don't
top
know.
6 team. Maybe we're a top 6 club. I don't know. I don't know.
No,
how
but
you...
I don't know like about the Premier League how they do that, but we're still like in the top 6 like branding. But I think us and United don't deserve to be in there. I think Newcastle and Aston Villa can probably squeeze their way in there. But
Oh yeah, easily.
but like we're just so average. We're just like an average team. We're literally playing like a mid-table team. We have a mid-table manager, and we have a mid-table. Well, most players are mid-table. I mean, the only player in the squad who actually is consistent and has been since he first came to Spurs was Van der Ven. Like he's the only one that actually can consider himself. And I guess Romero when he's playing his best as well. But like we just have such a mid-table squad. I mean, Porro when he's playing his best, and especially under Ange, he was incredible. But I don't know. I mean, it's the same outcome, same results. Where are we, like 14th in the league now? Bournemouth haven't won since the 27th of October. Dr. Tottenham shows up. You know what's happening next.
What was your? Would you have any strong opinions on Cupgate?
Oh, Frank sipping the Arsenal cup.
Yeah.
I actually didn't see that. Was that at the end? I saw like photos of
It
it,
was
but was it
before
at
the
the
game.
end?
Before the game, I believe.
What? Why is he? What did he do that on purpose or?
He says he didn't know he was a mistake. He didn't realise there was an Arsenal logo on it. He said if does anyone really think I would do that on purpose, it would obviously be a stupid thing to do.
So either some like Bournemouth fan has pranked him and put it in his like case or something, or like put it in the changing room, or he's
Arsenal were the last away team to go to Brentford, I think he said, and there are still cups
Oh, yeah,
there
that
or
is true.
something. I think there were still cups there.
God. Why would
and he
you
just-
do that? Imagine you're managing imagine you're watching Spurs play Arsenal on the watch along, and you had Arsenal shirts on, you had the Arsenal background behind you. Like, what are you doing? Like I've seen some clueless things at Spurs, but like that is one of the most clueless. Why are you doing that when we're playing crap? If we're first in the league, no one cares. But we're playing crap. The performance has been bad. We're 14th in the league, and you're sipping for it. Whether it's an accident or not, still embarrassing.
Yeah,
Like,
it's embarrassing.
Yeah,
That's
it's definitely
the thing.
embarrassing.
And how do you not realize if someone's trying to get you like an opposing team, how are you not checking what you've got in your hand? Like, how are you getting anything with that bloody logo on it that close to you? It's not something any Spurs fan wants to see. It's another kick in the teeth, really, Jack, isn't it?
it's another kick in the teeth, and it's just like similar thing happened last year. I don't think it was with Ange cupping his ear to the
fans.
away fans. Yeah, like I swear, like some of the stuff Frank's saying about Spurs, I can't. You guys are pointing it out on your channel because I watch most of your guys' videos, but. One of the things I can't remember Frank said in his press conference, like, "Are we a top 6 club? Are we a Champions League club?" or something like that. It's just stuff
He
he's
said,
saying.
yeah, he said,
odd.
we're Champions League because we want, but are we a Champions League team
we finished 17th.
because we finished 17th and only got through in the Europa League. So he was
Yeah,
like,
but
are we
why are
that?
you? The thing I liked about Ange, right, and this was not like thing, but he'd back the players no matter how crap we're playing. If we're in 20th and we've got 1 point all season, he'll still be backing the players.
Yeah.
You know? But under Frank, right, he's going, oh, did we deserve to get the Champions League? Like, first of all, mate, you weren't even coaching. Second of all, we were playing better football even in the Europa League final, which was a pretty average game, but we were still playing better football than we are now. Like, I just don't like how he's saying this stuff. And then he's saying about all these away fans, travel up all of the UK to go watch Spurs and lose. It's like, bro, what are you doing? Like, I feel like if Frank just said stuff like, "Oh, if Frank actually took accountability and went, yeah, we were poor today. We need to be better," fans wouldn't be as mad. But I know, Amir, you were getting mad about like what Frank was saying, like, "Oh, there was only one team in the second half." It's like,
Yeah.
mate, Bournemouth dominated some of that second
I
half.
don't
It's
know
like,
what he's
wait.
watching. I don't. The thing is, I like honesty. I like when managers are honest with me
saying he's
about
being
our
honest,
situation.
but he's saying he's being honest when he's like, this is just. He said in the last press conference, "Oh, it's one thing having the motto, but we have to accept reality." And that's him. That's for him. It's being honest about the situation. But I hate that. I hate accepting mediocrity, like as if that's what we should do, and that the manager should do that.
Yeah,
He's got like the Brentford mentality. I think he still thinks he's managing Brentford. I don't know, but the thing, I kind of do feel bad for Frank because the pressure at Spurs is so much higher. Like, you know, if I know I keep bringing this fixture up, but if Brentford lost 3-0 to Nottingham Forest, it wouldn't have even made a headline. But because Spurs, the pressure is so much higher, you know, it's a lot harder for him. And I do feel bad for him because I do think he's a good coach, but again, I just don't know why the board's hiring a mid-table manager when we're in Champions League football. Like, I think we should have stuck with Ange. I thought sacking Ange was the right decision at the time, but now it's just like imagine Ange with like Kudus, Polina, Simons, and I get those players take time. Like look at Florian Wirtz with Liverpool, right? He's taking time to settle in, and they will, but they need to be coached right. And I just don't know like where we go from here because it's just same. But oh well, hopefully we can win the FA Cup. If we win the FA Cup, all this criticism from the fans will shut up. But I highly doubt.
Mate,
but...
Jack, I will never say. I will be singing his name in the stands week in week out if he goes and wins us an FA Cup.
So if we finish lower than Wolves this season, 20th in the table, we win the FA Cup, will you be happy?
No, relegation.
Not 20th, not relegation, but you give
But
me.
like if we finish 17th again.
If you give me 17th and an FA Cup, I would say keep Frank for another year. But it's not.
So you're saying winning the FA. So do you think the FA Cup is a bigger trophy than the Europa League?
No, it's not a bigger trophy, but it gets us into Europe again. So
yeah, that is true. Yeah.
For me, our chances of getting into Europe, I mean, still seem to think that we could still somehow sneak into Europe now. I don't.
But the
think
thing
we
is,
have
right?
any
We're
chance
lucky
of
because
getting
the table's so tight. Like, if we won today, we could have been like I don't know what the table is because of the games that have just happened, but we could be like 1 point off fifth.
If we won tonight,
we
would be 10th and would be 2 points off sixth.
Okay.
Yeah, that's like 2 wins. Like all it takes is 1 win to get some confidence. We are so lucky.
But do you believe that this team can get those wins in those clutch situations? I have no belief.
The last 3 games we've had Brentford, Sunderland, and
Bournemouth. And how many points did we get?
We've got 2 points.
2 points.
So, you know, how do I expect us to go on any sort of winning run?
Exactly. How do I have no...
I know, it's rubbish, but all I'm saying is like all it takes is 1 win and we're in the top half of the table, or 2 wins and we could get close to fifth.
Some good
It's
form,
true. Yeah, a bit of luck even, a bit of, you know...
Yeah.
And we got West Ham at home next.
Hey, something to celebrate.
Hey,
West Ham is us in the league.
Come on.
Wait, watch us lose. What's a bet Dr. Tottenham's going to show up for a second time in a row?
Stop it.
Dr. Tottenham's the worst. He's the worst doctor, man.
He's the worst.
But
He's
like,
always
I just
available as
don't-
well. Always available.
It's just like I'm just like I just keep waking up to watch these games and I'm just like, why did I wake up in the first place? Should have just hit the snooze, but
Yeah, definitely. Kept dreaming.
Poor you. Where are you calling in from, Jack?
I'm in New Zealand, mate.
Oh wow. Getting up.
So it's 12. It's 1 o'clock in the afternoon at the moment.
Poor
The
guy.
game was at 8:30, and I hit my alarm, and I'm like, oh, I should have just hit the snooze. I literally thought that when I got up. I was like, oh, I should have hit the snooze. And I watched the game, and I'm like, yeah, I definitely should have hit the snooze. Like,
100%.
I had some people in the comments saying they were falling asleep during the game. So you woke up for the game, and some people are
yeah.
already.
I think
awake
it's
and
only
falling
because I
asleep.
woke up. I feel like if I lived in the UK, and what time was the game in the UK? 7:30 kickoff, right?
Yeah.
So if you're watching the game then. I'm surprised. Like, I feel bad for you guys. You and Ben have to make content every single day.
Yeah. Yeah, every day.
Stop it, Jack. I don't know
About
how they
this
do it.
team.
Hours and hours a day about how bad we are.
I don't know
Everything's a
how
mess.
they do it. I honestly don't know how they do it.
It's for, you know,
I
it's
don't know,
for the
man. Like, you
fans.
guys,
We do it for you guys.
you guys have to wake up every single day. Like, oh my god, we're gonna film these player ratings. We're
Yeah.
gonna watch how the internet reacted. Do the match review. Do the predicted lineup. Who plays in the game? How about we just start? How about we just start Sunday League player, Sunday League player, Sunday League player? We'll probably do better than we already do.
Oh God.
I genuinely feel bad for you guys. That you guys have to create
Oh
content.
God, it's terrible. It's not good for my mental health. But look, Jack, appreciate you calling in, mate. We'll let you get on with your day.
Up the
Big up to you.
Spurs. We'll win the FA Cup.
Spurs, and
Win the
enjoy
FA
that
Cup. I
nice
hope
weather
you're right.
over there in New Zealand, mate.
Enjoy.
Enjoy it.
Yeah.
Enjoy it.
Cheers.
Good to see you,
See you
Jack.
guys.
Nice one. All right, that was Jack. And now moving on from Jack. First of all, let's just read out these super chats. I never got to them before we get Rocco on. This one says, where was it? Matthew Jackson said, come on, this is embarrassing. Get Frank gone now. Crinkly says, I think Johnson was part of the Wharton deal in the summer. Frank says it will make sense later, and we seem very keen on getting him to Palace so early. So probably a clause. I think that's wishful thinking. But
Wishful thinking,
I would
mate.
look. If
I would
that's the
love
case,
Wharton to come.
I would be delighted. But I wouldn't. It's like everyone thinking there's a secret Stranger Things final episode like that. That it's a conformity gate. That's what that reminds me of. It's not real. Tony Darko says Redknapp interim till we can get Poch in the summer. Would you take a Redknapp interim job?
I would. But
Yeah.
that's how desperate I am.
Interim.
Yeah. I would take Robbie Keane interim. I would take Glenn Hoddle interim. I would take any ex-Spurs who's got a few managing coaching badges I'd take at the moment. I think any one of our ex-players could inspire these guys more than what Frank can do at the moment. I just think he doesn't understand our football club. He doesn't understand the level of the job, and he's completely isolated the fan base and doesn't understand the fan base.
I don't know if Harry on an interim is the best course. Is it better than Mason? If I offered you Mason or Harry, who are you taking?
Harry.
Harry.
Experience. Come on, man.
Just go for it. Just
Go for it. Bring Harry in here. He'll get things feeling good for a couple of months. Sign Nico. Find where dust off his boots.
Chameleon on I says, "Dear Pappy, Trump should have been Frank instead of Maduro."
That is brilliant.
Oh, we have a
That is
dictator that
brilliant.
needs dealing with.
That is brilliant. Oh, I love it. And this is what I mean about the comments. We have the best fan base. And the comments coming through, even though this has been one of the most depressing 6 months of football,
We find a way to enjoy
we
it.
find a way to
Chameleon
enjoy it.
again says, in all seriousness, this man is making me lose all love and interest in the club, knowing we're going to be shit before a ball's even kicked. It's awful. Lone Ranger says, fans overreacting about the Frank drinking cup. There was never this much fuss when we had Tim Sherwood as our manager, who was literally an Arsenal fan and had a bloody tattoo of them.
I know we never should have signed him as manager.
All right, let's see a certain person's reaction if we are overreacting. Ben is on his way back from Bournemouth, checking in. Let's get him on. Ben!
Come on.
Come on.
How
Don't
we doing,
seem too
brother?
happy. Don't seem too happy. How are we? How are we today? We've seen a lot of the videos coming out of the away end since the final whistle. What was your experience being there?
Where do we start? Where do we start? It was an absolute shit show from the final whistle. And I'll tell you what, it was very, very strange. It was really strange because it seemed as though like Van de Ven just made like a complete beeline for the away fans as soon as the final whistle went. And I'm not sure what was said. I really don't know what was going on. I was just so confused what was going on. Van de Ven makes his beeline. I'm looking at Javi. So I thought Van de Ven was just like pointing at someone, like one of his family members in the crowd or something. And he's going over and he goes into the away fans. And I was like, all right, fine. He's just seeing a family member. And I'm seeing all this commotion. I'm looking at Javi. Javi is just looking at the away fans with this biggest confused look on his face. And then I look to my left. Van de Ven is having it out. Paulini is coming over and God knows what's going on. And then Vicario comes over and this one comes over and that one comes over. And it was just a complete mess. and it looked like it was getting really toxic over there. So I was a bit to the right, so I couldn't see 100% what was happening because there were so many people crowded around. And yeah, it did not look like a good situation in any way. And all these players kept coming over, and then the player liaison guy came over, and it was just a big mess, man. I have no idea what was said though. It all started with Van de Ven. He looked like he was coming over, like really in a really aggressive way, and I just didn't know what was going on.
Yeah, I saw Porro as well and João Palhinha both having altercations.
Porro.
Porro was quite aggressive, looked quite animated. It's not the first time we've seen, players at the end of games like showing discontent, I guess, or something like that. With a loud boos for Frank again at the end of the game. I heard. Yeah. What did you think of the game in general? Like, I thought it was, Frank said, good overall performance. But what did you think?
I've been listening to your fan show the whole way home, guys, and I went up with Aid, my uncle.
Is he in the car? Hello, Aid.
No, he's gone. He's dropped. I dropped him home just now.
But you're back in London already.
Yeah, I'm just about to park up outside mine now. But I thought we came out well. I thought first 15 minutes we were decent. We got the goal, obviously, put us 1-0 up. And after that, I felt like we dropped off a bit, as we always do. I thought first 15 minutes and last 15 minutes, I thought we were pretty good. But everything in between was absolute crap, basically.
Yeah, that's kind of how
that's how I felt about the game. And, like, during those moments in between the kind of good parts at the beginning at the end, like, it was just the same shit, wasn't it? Misplaced passes, not being able to break any lines, no progressive football. Just nothing take away from that kind of hour of football. But look, in the first 15 minutes and last 15 minutes, I thought we were decent. So when Frank says it's a step in the right direction, it probably has been better than what we have been seeing for a lot of it.
Well, I guess if it's half an hour is better than nothing of good football.
Exactly.
I guess you could say. But he's saying in the second half.
Give it to me, Amir. Come on.
He's gone.
No, I think we're just clutching at straws here, guys. Like, really, we're trying to get some positives out of a 3-2 defeat to a team
that hasn't lost 11 games.
Exactly, who took 6 points off us this season, who are below us in the league. We're so far away from where we should even be trying to get to. Like, We're a shambles. We're an absolute shambles, Ben.
Let's get it right though with Bournemouth and this run that they're going on.
Yeah,
they're a hard team to play against at the Vitality, no matter what run they're going on.
No
Look at
doubt.
Arsenal.
No
Arsenal
doubt.
went there Arsenal went there last week.
They struggled
and they
to
were in
win.
a game.
I watched it.
They were
I watched
in a game.
it. Ben, I
they were a
watched
massive
it.
struggle. Bournemouth were the better team for the first half.
Bournemouth
agree. Were putting them under so much pressure. They probably should have scored more goals in that first half. We know Bournemouth as an attacking force are a force to be reckoned with, no
100%.
matter what run they're on. So we can talk about their run all we want, but we know that we were in a game when we go to the Vitality, and it's always been like that under Frank, under Ange, under any manager.
It's true, but I'm not just going off what I've seen against Bournemouth, Ben. It's all the other games combined. Everything that this last 5-6 months under Frank is just telling me we need to cut our ties with this guy. Say that we made the mistake. We as in Tottenham Hotspur made the mistake of bringing you in, and now we're correcting that mistake by letting you go. It's on us. It's not on you.
That's fair enough. That's fair enough to say, and you're absolutely valid to say that because Frank so far has not shown us a lot. But we're here to talk about the Bournemouth game. Yeah. And Bournemouth are a very good side, no matter where they are in the league table.
Fully agree.
Got very good players.
No, I fully agree.
But they're also a side that technically would probably play into our hands in a sense. Like, we'd rather play a Bournemouth than a team that sits back or doesn't give you. They take risks, don't they? They press you. They give you opportunities, which we made, but we also conceded.
Yeah, we conceded, and look, this game was such fine lines, guys.
It was.
It was such fine lines. Like, in those last 15 minutes, when we got that second goal, I felt we had the momentum, and I felt if anyone was going to get the goal, I thought it was going to be us. And we had that chance, Mickey van der Ven. From what I haven't seen,
what a save.
I haven't seen Look, I haven't seen it back, but for me, it was from what I saw, it was a worldie of a save.
It was a
Like,
worldie
was,
save.
it was
a
a brilliant
worldie
save.
save.
It
He
was
literally
brilliant.
You know what I
took
mean?
it
So
out of the
if
goal.
that goes in, you never know. We might go on to win the game, and then the fan show's completely different, and we're sitting here with 3 points. So I felt this game was just a game of real fine margins, man.
I think probably a 2-2 draw was a fair result. I wouldn't say we would definitely deserve the win, but I also think our loss was harsh. Like, I thought we didn't deserve to lose. I thought 2-2 they gave as good as they got. I thought there were moments when we were on top, we were looking good, like actually playing some decent stuff. But it's hard to cling on to that when, at the end of the day, it is another loss against a team that hasn't won a game in 11. It's Dr. Tottenham rearing his ugly head again, isn't it?
But we knew this was going to happen before the game, so it's not a surprise. Everyone predicted loss. Well, you predicted 2-2, nearly a 5-pointer.
Nearly.
But look, we knew Dr. Tottenham was going to show up today, and
Semenyo as well. Semenyo was obviously going to score the winner.
Yeah, look, I was pleasantly surprised because I think the team actually produced more than I expected them to today.
But that's more to do with your expectations and how well we played.
Yeah, that's how low our expectations.
Yeah, but it's everyone's expectations. Everyone's expectations is absolutely in the gutter right now. And when you go away to Brentford and you perform like that and have no ambition to go forward, I thought I walked away with it. Obviously gutted that we've lost the game, but I thought for the majority of it we were shit. Don't get me wrong, but there were moments in the game. First 15 minutes, last 15 minutes.
Yeah.
I was happy with what we saw.
What about one player I want to talk about for me was Tell. I thought he played really well today. What did you think?
My man, the match for Spurs, Matisse Tell. And look, Sim, how many times have we been talking about it in the studio? Every single predicted lineup probably for the last month and a half. Saying Tell's got to start. Every time he's come on, he's looked good. He's made an impact. Well, last 2 games, he's probably been our best attacking outlet that we've seen so far. And I think it's criminal, the handling of Matisse Tell so far this season because of what he's showing right now. And right now, he's our best attacking option. Because I thought Mawani was absolutely crap today. Like, he was so bad, man. Yeah. Who else was in our forward line?
Javi.
He had Matisse Tell. Javi, I thought, was pretty poor for the whole game up until the last 10 minutes. I thought he came alive.
I thought for first 10, last 10, he was all right, and then he was shit in the middle. Yeah.
There was this one moment where he just loops it over a Bournemouth player and starts an attack for us. I thought was fantastic. But yeah, look, in terms of going forward, I think
Tell he got injured. Hopefully he's all right.
Bergvall, Bentancur go off injured.
Bergvall looks like a reoccurrence of his previous injury that he just got back from.
If that is the case, then that's on Frank. That is completely on Frank. And you know what? I went mad at Ange about the injuries last season, so Frank's got to get the exact same treatment. If he's rushing Bergvall back, there is no need to rush Bergvall back when you've got Archie Gray there.
Odeberg played on the right, yeah.
It seems like a rush back though, because why is he Bergvall even in the team if he's still got a niggling groin injury?
It's ridiculous. If he has been rushed back and he's reoccurred the same injury, then that is completely on Thomas Frank, and it's nowhere near good enough. Like, you've got to be doing a lot better than that, and you've got to be looking after your players better than that. And now it's going to hamper us, because if he's out for an extended period of time, Bentancur's out for an extended period of time, Kudus is out for an extended period of time, then we're basically back to similar spot of where we were last season. You know what I mean? God. Complete bare bones.
Bare bones. Get your Luke and William Sparnitz out then.
But look, I think I thought we were so unlucky, man, not to take something from this game. As much as we were shit for the majority of the game, I don't even think Bournemouth did much. How many saves did Vicario actually make today?
None.
Not many.
They scored every shot. They scored with every shot on target.
See what I mean? So
the thing is,
Bournemouth weren't.
No, sorry, Ben. Sorry, just to ask you, do you not think you make some of your own luck in football though? I felt like today we kind of made our own luck by individually trying a few things a bit differently. Bergvall was hitting shots from 25 yards. Tell looked like he wanted to take his man on, and that's how we got our first goal. Paulinho made his own luck by trying an overhead kick in the last 15 minutes there. And do Bournemouth not deserve credit for making their luck, for the way they attacked, for the way they came forward. Every time they had an attack or they crossed it in from a wide area, I was worried they were going to score. Between that, in that 60-minute period you're talking about,
That's called PTSD, Amir.
you think it's all PTSD? maybe it is.
I genuinely didn't feel that threatened from Bournemouth today. I really didn't. I think the first goal, again, I haven't seen it back, but the first goal looks like a defensive mistake to me. It looks like we gave him a free header in the box and Romero should be getting close to his man. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know. I haven't seen it back.
It's a good header, but sloppy. But
it was a very good header. Very good header.
But we need to be doing better to close down the man, right? Romero was the closest man to it.
We do, but this is what...
Stop the cross, I would say.
Yes, either stop the cross or do better blocking it. Do something. My thing is I think Bournemouth made their own luck today by the amount of players they committed forward. So when I say that they look like scoring on an attack, it's not because I'm just saying it. I'm saying it because I'm seeing it. When they get an attack, when they're building forward, you won't see just 1 or 2 players in the box. You'll see 4 or 5 or maybe even 6 players. So they're creating their luck by going forward. We do the opposite. We go 1-0 ahead and then we sit back and we rest on our laurels and we don't attack and we don't go for the gusto and we don't try and win games. Same against Sunderland. Why? We should have taken all 3 points against Sunderland, but we ended up with 1. Why? Why do we keep doing these things? And for me, it's coming from the top. It really is coming straight from the top. And I just want to see better for our club, Ben, because I agree with people telling me that, you know, some of these players aren't good enough. Some of them aren't. But we all know that that's not a process that happens overnight, right? That happens over a few windows. But with the manager, you know, I think we've seen in these 5-6 months that he's clearly not the right guy. So I'm like, okay, where do we go from here? What are the steps that we can take as a team, as a club, as a collective to start getting things right? Because I don't want to sit here through another 20 games or however many we have left, you know, for the rest of the season and just going through this pattern again and again and again, because it's not fair on our fans like yourself who travel, you know, up and down the country, all over the place to you know, be disappointed by these kind of performances week in, week out. It's just not on. It's just not
chopping and changing managers. We've been through it countless amount of years.
We have.
I personally right now don't know if Frank's the right answer. The evidence suggests that he's not, right? There are plenty of things going against Thomas Frank right now in terms of the argument if he's the right guy or the wrong guy. There is so much evidence right now to suggest he's not. Not just the way we're playing our football, the way he talks in the press, you know, both on and off the pitch. There's evidence to suggest against it. However, I don't. If look, put it this way: if he was sacked tonight, I wouldn't care. It wouldn't be anything to me. Like, I wouldn't care. I wouldn't be happy. I wouldn't be sad. I think the only choice we've got is to stick with him until the end of the season. I think that's the only choice we got, because I think we're in between a rock and a hard place. Where do we go if Frank is sacked? There's a much bigger manager market available in the summer after the World Cup. And what are we going to do? Get in Mason to the end of the season? Is it going to be any better? Mason's just got sacked from West Brom. Who the hell are we going to bring in from now to the end of the season, this magical manager that's going to make everything so much better? Who is it? Please tell me.
Throw the book at Javi.
Throw the book. He's not even 100% going to be better.
At least we get some nice football.
Yeah, he'd get our midfielders.
But are you looking at that? Are you looking at that as more of a short-term thing, or are you looking at it as like, yeah, just let's see, is it a long-term thing? Because if it's a short-term thing, then there's no point.
Yeah, that's fair. But I don't know if I could. I guess tonight was a bit better, but the football in general was just so hard to watch.
I can't stomach his interviews as well, Ben. Me and Sim been talking a little bit before the stream, and you know, I find him as a manager the most uninspiring manager we've had in 30 odd years. You know, he doesn't inspire me to win a game of football. I don't think he could inspire me to stick the kettle on, to be honest with you, Ben. You know.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Look, he's not inspiring me right now. Like, I'm not sitting here and advocating for Frank. I'm not sitting here and saying Frank's the answer and Frank's going to take us to the promised land. I'm just saying that we're here halfway through the season. We've sat through all this shit.
Yeah.
The smartest thing to do for me is wait till the end of the season to get a manager, because there's going to be such a pool of managers to bring in. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, that's fair.
I hear. No, that's a very fair point, Ben. My thing is what happens though in this 4 or 5 months now until the end of the season? Do you know, like how bad can this get? Like realistically, we could go out of the cup on the weekend. Beating West Ham at home, I'm not even so sure that's a given. That's their cup
We can't
final.
beat Wolves at home, so no game
Exactly,
is a given.
that's what I'm saying.
I'm not saying we're not going to beat West Ham, but no game is a given.
No game is a given. You go out of the Champions League by February, end of Feb, and then what is there left? We're literally fighting for 14th, 15th.
But I'm here. We're
Yeah.
playing Aston Villa in the FA Cup, right?
Yeah.
There is no guarantee any other manager comes in less than a week before the FA Cup game and sees us through in that game. We're going to lose. We're going to lose probably whoever our manager is. They're a better team than us.
You see, I don't agree with that, Ben. I think if you do get somebody in who understands a thing or two about management and a thing or two about football, I think they will get better results than what Frank is doing. That's why.
Yeah, but the FA Cup game is in 3 days' time.
No,
or
I know.
4 days' time.
I know.
whichever-
I'm not talking specifically about that game, but I'm talking about our end of the season. You know, if someone like Stell sat on here earlier, and he obviously thinks we can still get Europe from where we're at now.
We can.
Do you think so too? You think there's a possibility
We can.
of Europe?
Of course, there's a possibility. The league is so congested and so tight together.
So my question to you would be: do you think currently Frank is the right man to get us back into Europe?
Probably not.
So
Probably
if he's not, then what's the point in keeping him here for the next 4 or 5 months?
Because, like I said, I don't know if there's a guaranteed alternative option. And by the end of the season, look, the next manager that we get has to be the guy. He has to be.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we're going to go through another. We're going to be in the same spot in a year's time. We have to bring in the right guy next, and we have to make sure he's the right guy. Do I trust them to bring in the right guy? Probably not. No. But we need to make sure he's the right guy. And right now, it's going to be a panic move and a panic signing.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
And we've done that before.
Yeah, we've done the knee jerk before.
So that's just what it is right now.
Zenny,
so I think
what about Robbie Keane till the end of the season?
Robbie Keane's got a job, and he's very happy in that job.
Get him into the end of the season. If Spurs come calling, he can't say no, can he?
If there's
He's a good manager,
viable,
man.
If there's a viable interim that I feel that can do a better job than Frank, or that's guaranteed to do a better job than Frank, then I'm open to it. But I just can't see that possibility of that person. I mean, Harry Redknapp's actually I don't know if you heard him today. I was listening to him on Talk Sport before on my drive up. He's thrown his hat in the ring for the West Ham job.
No way.
He's done that again. Yeah, I heard.
No way. He wants to go and rescue West Ham. Wow.
We haven't got your opinion on the viral Cupgate. Any strong feelings about
Cup of coffee?
You know what? Yeah, I cannot believe you've given this as much airtime as you've given it. This is the most ridiculous thing I've seen in my life. Like, so what? He's picked up a cup that's got an Arsenal emblem. He obviously hasn't done it on purpose. It's a mistake. Like, give the guy a break. Like, just because you don't believe in him and don't.
No, the guy's drinking out of an Arsenal cup. What are you talking about?
I don't give a shit what cup he's drinking.
What if he comes out? What if he comes to the training ground in an Arsenal shirt?
Oh, I forgot. It was in my Brentford section.
Oh, I didn't realise. What if he starts eating with an Arsenal bib?
You lot are shameless. Absolutely shameless.
Oh.
It's acceptable
Like,
to
this
you.
is-
Using
it was a
drinking-
mistake. It was a clear mistake. Obviously, he hasn't done it on purpose. A cup was there. He's drinking out of it. That's it. Like,
Mate,
there's no.
maybe,
I'd
there's
sack
nothing.
him for that. I'd sack him for that, man.
You know what I mean?
That's enough.
Using that as look. Put
You
it this
always
way.
check your cups, Ben. You always check your cups.
Put it this way. Yeah, we've got so many sticks to beat Frank with right now. Why are you using that stupid thing? Like, there's no need for it. There is so many more sticks
It's
to
something
beat
to
him with.
discuss. He's been seen drinking from an Arsenal cup. Had to be.
But
be
it's
brought
not
up.
this. It's nothing to discuss, though. It's not anything to discuss.
Well,
It's the most
a
stupid
question.
thing ever.
What if he saw the Arsenal cup? He's like, that's the only cup in the room, and he decided to use it. Would you think differently?
I don't
if that
think.
was the
I
case?
think it's just a mistake. I don't think.
He says it was a mistake. He says it was a mistake.
Look, the bottom line is we've got so.
What if there was just a single Arsenal cup there, and he said, I'm just going to use that because I can't be asked to get another cup. Would you think differently?
Look, I don't care. I genuinely do not care one bit.
So you wouldn't think differently if he decided to use that cup because he was sitting there.
Whatever kind of spin you want to put on it, or hypothetical you want to put on it. I literally couldn't give two shits about him drinking out an Arsenal cup.
Why are you so accepting of Gooners? I don't understand. No.
He's moving Vinay in, don't you know? He's
He
moving
loves
Vinay.
Vinay, Cochrane, all these Gooners.
All right, cool. Yeah. Vinay and Cochrane planted it for him. Yeah.
There's a whole. Just saying, it seems to be a pattern going on.
There's something
There
going
seems to
on
be
at
a
our
pattern.
club, Ben.
Seems
Can
to
you
be a
not
pattern.
smell it?
There's an
Can you-
infestation.
There's an infestation. There's something going on. Something going terribly wrong. Look who's at top of the league and look who's 14th, for goodness sakes. Something's going on here. It's lasagna gate all over again.
Listen, I hate Arsenal more than the next person. Yeah, no one has more hate for Arsenal than me. But this is bollocks, man. This is absolute bollocks.
No, I've got to agree with you, Ben. I've got to agree with you, brother. I think, look, the whole cup thing, was it AI? Wasn't it AI? I don't know.
It was real. It was a real picture.
The fact that it's real, who cared? Like, literally, I don't give a shit about the fact
I want to
that...
see my manager drinking from an
we've
Arsenal
got-
cup. Personally,
We've
I
got
just wanna see us
so
win
many
games.
problems, boys. We've got so many problems, and this is what you've given most airtime to on this manager.
Imagine Alonso's walking around the Bernabeu drinking from a Barca cup. You think the Madrid fans are going to be happy?
Look,
saying.
all that matters
Too
is
much.
results and how
It's
we're
true.
playing. That's all that matters. I don't
Yeah.
give a
There'll
shit.
be
about
riots.
There you
They'll
go.
probably attack his home.
Listen to your big bro, Sim. Listen to your big bro. Say that again, Benny boy. That's all that matters.
So you can drink all the Arsenal cups he wants as long as he wins. That's all you're saying.
If he wins us the FA Cup, he can drink out of an Arsenal goblet for all I care.
Exactly.
Bring us the FA Cup.
Get us the FA Cup, Frank. I will sing your name for the rest of my life if we get an FA Cup. How about that? He can do the amount of boring interviews as he wants. As many as he wants he can do about how he likes to play like this and XG like this. I don't care.
What if he wins the FA Cup but then also celebrates St. Tottenham's Day? Would that be acceptable?
Just win a cup and we'll talk after, all right? Win us a cup.
All right, Ben, I'll let you get off with your night. You're not in tomorrow, are you? Has he got?
No, I'm not. No, I'm not in tomorrow.
All right,
I'm
we'll
not
see
in
you.
tomorrow.
Lucky for you.
You're gonna have to. You're gonna have to
Lucky
deal with the
Oh
wrath of
no,
Bagel on your
Brian!
case tomorrow.
Eruptions! All right, Ben. Catch you later. I'll see you tomorrow.
Take it
Oh,
easy,
see you
Benny
Friday.
boy.
See you
Come on.
Friday. See you.
Up the Spurs.
Oh, that was funny. I enjoyed that.
that was
Nice to
good.
laugh at something.
That was good.
Let's get Rocco on the show. Rocco,
Big up, boy.
how are we doing, my friend?
Big up.
Big up.
Oh,
Good to
no.
see. Yeah, man, it's a difficult one. Is Cupgate a storm in a teacup, or is there more to it?
Get him out for just holding the thing. No, and also in all seriousness, it's not one of our problems. But it's funny.
I'm thinking if he took a sip out of that cup, he must have tasted, something wrong, right? You could taste
It's
it.
funny he
100%.
posed for all these photos.
With the cup. Oh god, it's such an embarrassment. Anyway, Rocco, going on to the game. You know, a lot of Ben said he was pleasantly surprised by how good we were.
I
What
just
do you
thought
think?
the same shit as I've seen since the start of the season.
Yeah.
No offense to Frank or anyone there, but we didn't. I don't think. I don't think it's an improvement at all. He says he wants to fix the defense. We concede 3. He says he wants to fix the attack. We've got the lowest XG in the league. It doesn't. It doesn't work. And I think, and I don't care what anyone says. It's my opinion that at 7 minutes after we scored a goal, after Tell whacked that fantastic strike in, he told him to sit back and defend because we barely had any attack after that. I think his strategy is to score a goal and defend and just go for a grab and smash and grab every game. Because up until it was 1-0, we didn't really have an attack. We just sat back and defended.
Yep.
It's Sean Dyche ball.
Yep.
I think you said it earlier. We had Danny Blanchflower saying that we go for glory, everything, every player we've ever had, every manager we've ever had, and we're sitting here playing 90s Arsenal football. He's an Arteta clone.
Yeah, and it's not even working.
It's not working. I think I've seen that graphic of Tottenham being the second highest goal scorer from set pieces almost every game at this point. And and we're below Arsenal. It's not working. It's very clearly not working for a tactical manager who we all expected to be this godsend of a manager after everyone's after Vibes Ball of Ange. It's not. He's doing worse. It's not, or worse, or even similar level. It's not good at all. No.
But there's an argument to say we created more chances today. There were points, especially at 2-2. We were in the ascendancy. Van de Ven had a header, could have been putting us ahead. Do you not feel that we were unlucky not to take anything from the game?
Someone said it earlier. I can't remember who said it earlier. But they said it didn't look like tactics when we attacked. It just looked like players going forward because they wanted to. And you have to put some of the credit on that on Frank. But I don't think a lot of that was Frank. I think Van de Ven. I don't think this is talked about enough. By the way, that was a pure penalty, no matter what. But that Van de Ven didn't do that because of tactics. He didn't do it under Ange because of tactics. He ran forward.
Ran the whole pitch, yeah.
Yeah, ran the whole pitch because he wanted to. Tell hit a shot outside the box. We know Frank doesn't like shots outside the box. He didn't tell him to do that.
Bergvall hit 2.
Yeah. Palhinha didn't bicycle kick it because Frank told him to. This isn't attacking coaching. These are moments. This is moments football.
Spot on, Rocco.
It's vibes football. And it's all coming from players who we were calling not good enough. And who are coming out with these things. Xavi's back heel is not taught to him. I don't care how much you think that boring ass crusty manager and Frank is not. He's not teaching him a back heel. And it's not good. I don't think he's good enough. And I think our only chance of getting European football is sacking him and bringing in Xavi or Terzic. I think you should look up Xavi's team when he first went to Barcelona and compare it to the team that we've got. And the way that he improved that team was through youth development and smart buying of players. And he was involved in a lot of those buying of players. So I think he would be the perfect manager for us. Even though we've got Frank, I don't think he's good enough, and I think he needs to go tonight.
Yeah, are you thinking
if we want
he has to
salvage
leave?
European football? Yeah. He needs to go.
I'd be with you in that decision, Rocco. I'd go with that.
It seems rash, but if you consider what he's done at Barcelona in a time when they had no money, they were very weak in the team, and he made them win. I think 2 titles. He had won Copa del Rey. I know it's La Liga, but what he did with Barcelona turned them into the team that they are now. He laid the groundwork for the manager who's in now, and I think that's what we need. We need a manager who's come in, who's got experience rebuilding, and just do it, because surely he cannot be worse than Frank. And Sim said it earlier. We'll get entertaining football, and that's all I care about. Go back to what Tottenham are, and what we've always been, because to dare us to do is dead.
It wasn't in Bilbao. It wasn't in Bilbao. It was, believe me, it was alive. Yeah. Shows you what 6 months can do.
It was alive under Ange, and I know everyone's going to complain at me for saying Ange's name, but it's what we've got to base everything off now. He won our trophy. We've got to base everything off him. I don't care about what Conte did, what Mourinho did, what anyone did. We need to base off what Ange did. Ange won us a trophy. How can we make that step up? How can we get back to that? Because this season was meant to be the season that we step up. We've won that European trophy. He's given us that level, and we brought in a manager who does not help that at all. And we've just went straight back down to, it's almost like we didn't win the trophy. Yep. We're back down to being a lower middle table club.
Well, yeah, it's worse than that, because I think we won't qualify for Europe next season at all. I don't think it's going to be our first Europe-less season in a while.
I agree. If we don't change it now, and I think now is the tipping point. We've got to be strong. Vinay's got to be strong. Everyone at the club's got to be strong, and just be like, we've got to do it. Bring in a coach, spend that money, and this season is about salvaging what we can, and then we press on. And I understand what people are saying. The manager market is going to be better in the summer, but you've also got to understand that the World Cup's happening. So you're going to be limited by when the manager comes in, because they're certainly not going to come in as soon as the World Cup finishes. You're not going to have a Pochettino go, I want him, but I don't think it's going to happen. You're not going to have Pochettino going straight from America to come to Tottenham, start transfer. He's going to go off on a holiday for a week or two. And that's wasting 2 more weeks of the transfer window.
Rocco, I'm sorry, I'm going to have to cut this short because we have some breaking news. So I'm going to have to take you off. Maybe we'll bring you on after. But appreciate you coming on. So there has been a statement. Have you got it, Sammy? I'll send it. I've got it here. I've got it on your. I'll like it. 1 sec. Yeah, it's on the likes. Romero has made a statement. This is quite something today. Just after the game, he says, "Apologies to all fans of you who follow us everywhere, who are always there, will always continue to be. We are responsible. There's no doubt about that. I am the first, but we will keep facing up to it and trying to turn the situation around for ourselves and for the club. At times like this, it should be other people coming out to speak, but they don't, as has been happening for several years now. They've only show up when things are going well to tell a few lies. We'll stay here, working, sticking together, and giving our all to turn things around, especially at times like this. Keeping quiet, working harder, and moving forward altogether is part of football. Altogether, it will be easier." At Spurs official. Wow. So he is saying he's calling out the board, essentially. I'm guessing he's calling out the hierarchy
100%.
And we've seen him do that before. In the summer, he said the problem that has been there for years and will always be after Ange was sacked and just before we appointed Frank. He is now saying other people should be coming out to speak, but they don't, as has been happening for several years now.
Fair play, Cootie.
So
fair play, Cootie, for putting this
making
out
a
there.
Statement, essentially.
Fair play.
calling out the hierarchy.
Fair play for him pointing and pointing out at the
And not
few
min-
lies as well, because that's what's look how many we were lied to this summer. Oh, we want to win Premier Leagues and Champions Leagues. So is this how you win it, by bringing in Frank and bringing in the players that we brought in?
Wow.
I'm impressed. I'm very impressed by Kuti.
And this is a guy, by the way, who signed a contract in the summer,
Yeah.
who's become our club captain.
Yeah.
He cares about this football
He
club.
does.
I really believe that.
I believe he does as well.
He's someone who sees what's happening at this football club. And time after time, year after year, we are being undercut. Now, don't get me wrong. Do I think the players that we have should be doing better? Absolutely.
100%.
But when from his point of view, he sees a club with big resources, big ability to spend money,
Attract the best.
attract better players, and yet every window we're not acting like big clubs, and we're not giving the team the best chance to succeed. And that is what he's calling out. He's saying right now they've been telling lies. Like maybe one of the lies, Frank's been brought in to challenge on multiple fronts. Where's the challenging? You know, that's not totally Frank's fault, but he's, you know, is that part of the narrative? Like so he's you know, he's saying how we didn't hear anything from the hierarchy. Then once we won the Europa League, we had statements from Levy and statements here, and the Lewis family making statements in the summer about wanting to do this and that. Vinay talking about wanting to do this and that when things are doing okay.
Just
and then
lip service, isn't it?
when things are going badly, they hide behind the managers and the players all the time.
Oh, they've sacked managers and hired managers for the last 20 odd years. That's been the modus operandi, hasn't it?
They only show up when things are going well to tell a few lies.
Yeah,
Big words.
that is huge words, huge words. I'm glad he's done it. I'm glad. He's either fishing for a move away, or he really deeply cares about this club. Can be a bit of both.
But what do you
Can be a bit
think
of
is
both.
born? So Levy's left this summer. We now have the Lewis family. We have Vinay. We have Lange. Whatever. Before we were thinking, you know, if he would make the statement at the beginning of the season, you would say that's directed at Daniel Levy. He's gone. So who is that directed to? Is it directed to the Lewis family? Is it directed at Vinay? Is it just directed to the whole thing as a whole, the hierarchy? Enoch? Is it directed at Enoch as a whole?
I think it's directed at Enoch.
Because they're still here. They're
still
left.
here. They're still the same owners. Okay, Levy's gone, but he still owns what 30% of the club, ish. He's still probably in contact with all of Enoch. I don't know. I'm glad he's done it because he's pointing at least the fingers in the right direction. I just think that it shows you what a sad state of affairs our club is when our club captain is putting out something like this. This is not a harmonious body. Do you know what I mean? If everyone pushing in the right direction, in the same direction, that's not us. We're like a boat with people all paddling in different directions. One going left, one going right, one going round and round.
Let me just see. Apparently, Porro replied to the message as well. Let me just see if I can get that up because Porro agrees. Look, I'm not surprised if he maybe did a thumbs up or something, but I'm sure Romero's obviously said this. But I'm sure it's probably common sentiment in the
for the
dressing
players,
room.
for sure.
Yeah, it can't be just Romero who's
sure.
thinking that. But it's
Listen,
a very
this dressing room hasn't looked right since Bilbao. It hasn't looked right.
this season. There's clearly been something going on because we've seen it.
Clearly.
We've seen it on the pitch. The players boiling over. That only happens.
Van de Ven hasn't snapped the way he snapped this season. I haven't seen him like that before.
Where is it on it? Why can't I see it? Where is it on his? Is it not on his Instagram? Has he deleted it? Oh, wait a minute. Maybe it's on his Twitter.
It's on Twitter.
No, I can't see it on his Insta.
Oh, there it is. It's on Instagram. Got it here.
So I'm just trying to see where what's Porro said. Porro said, "Amen. Keep going, brother. We have a lot of battles left." Richarlison with a clapping emoji.
All of them praising Captain Cootie, eh?
Wow. But this is a very interesting dynamic we have here. You have the players calling out the board publicly. You never really... When do you ever get that? Because
Not a lot.
they're employees of the club. They're directing criticism at people who pay their wages. We have seen what has happened to Maresca, and we've seen what's happened to Amorim. What's happened, but it's very easy to sack a manager when you're the hierarchy, when they're calling you out, because that's just one person
100%.
that you can remove. When it's a playing group and players, now they've got a serious issue on their hands. Because what they're supposed to do, you can't just sell everyone.
You can't do that.
You can't just sack them, because that would be fucking crazy to sack you players worth millions and millions of assets. How do you go, if you're the hierarchy, dealing with a situation where you're essentially getting a revolt from your playing staff, which I can't believe in my years of supporting publicly anyway, I don't remember a situation where a player has come out criticising the hierarchy of a football club, all the players agree with it, and now you've got a public situation here, which Frank will be asked about in his next press conference, I'm
100%
sure.
he'll be asked about it. 100%. I'm trying to think if there's anything else in the past that has kind of been similar. You've had the odd players have falling outs, right, with management and board level and that kind of thing.
Players and managers, one thing. That's about football.
No,
but this
player
is
and
about how
board
a
as
club
well.
is run.
Yeah.
When do you ever have public criticism of a hierarchy from players? It's very rare. Usually the managers get the blame, and it's all down to the manager. When it comes to a hierarchy, how do you go about dealing with that situation?
Go and hire a proper manager.
Is it a case of they're not happy with the manager they have?
I think for sure it's got a lot to do with the manager, Sim.
Is it a case of
For
they're not
sure.
happy with the players they're playing with? Like, the investment in the team? I
For
would
sure,
think.
for sure. Investment with the team, the manager himself. I think that they all wanted Ange backed. If this had all been under Ange, I don't think you would have seen this kind of revolt from Cuti Romero. I don't think you would have seen it.
And it
Not
was
at all.
interesting, the first time we heard about Romero is when, on the day, I think it was when Ange got sacked. That was when he made the original statement.
Yeah.
So do you think, is that part of it? The fact that it's Thomas Frank in charge?
I think it has to be.
Because Frank's not going to say anything against the board.
Yeah, but you know, if you're in a toxic work environment and there's people above you that you know are so incompetent, you're going to have to do something to ruffle a few feathers. That's what Cooty's done here.
Mm-hmm.
He's ruffling a few feathers.
Is he trying to wake him up, saying, look, we have to change massively?
Yes, that's what he's doing.
And it's not a surprise he's doing it during January.
It makes sense.
When they can
when they can actually do something about it. So I'm happy.
I'm delighted he's made it. I'm delighted he's putting pressure on the hierarchy.
100%.
And he's not mincing his words. He's saying you're lying. You're telling them these guys are lying to you.
Yeah.
They're saying they want to win games. They're saying all this and they're lying. Right? And I'm delighted with that.
Well, we know that. The thing is, as fans, we know that. Enoch told us that when they came in.
It's nice to hear the players understand that.
Good.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it shows that they've got in understanding of what's really going on.
But of course they do. You know, Romero's been there for how many years now? He's gone through how many managers now? He's seen how many different types of footballing mentalities, ideologies, etc., etc.
People said he's not calling out Frank, he's calling out the board. I understand that. But what
he's not calling out Frank.
No, he's
calling out the board.
But why?
But who made the decision to bring the Frank in?
Is the board. And my point would be: is the decision to hire Frank part of what he's upset about?
I think so.
Is it also?
I
But is
think
it
so.
mainly? Would you say? Do you think it's mainly just the investment in the team, and that is that what his main criticism would probably be?
Bit of both there.
Because I think the decision to hire Frank must be in that, only because the first time he did make a statement was after Ange got sacked. It was actually, if you remember, it was the day Frank got hired. I think we announced Frank and he made a statement.
After he was
Oh,
hired.
literally, I think like half an hour or like an hour after.
Once he found out who the manager was.
Once Frank was announced at Tottenham,
That's when he put it out.
he put it out. So I'm not saying at that point he was against Frank himself, but he didn't want
Against
Ange
the
sacked.
decision, yeah.
He was against the
the
decision to sack
decision.
Ange. Now we're here. I do think that is probably part of it. But I also must say it must be. We saw last season how the lack of investment and massively hurt us.
Yeah.
You know, playing Gray, but teenagers, Forster, these players consistently because of injuries, wherever we had to use them so much, and that was what contributed to our downfall. Now this season, we've known from the beginning of the season we've had long-term injuries, and we've gone some way to address it, but we haven't fully addressed it, and now we're in a situation where we're in big trouble. Kudus, Bergvall, Bentancur, all injured. Madison, Kulusevski, Solanke are nowhere near getting back fit.
God.
So we are now in deep trouble when it comes to injury problems again.
Deep trouble.
And
So
we're
Brennan
relying
Johnson.
on players. We're selling Brennan Johnson, and now we're relying on players that is not good enough to be relying on right now. And look, and I understand. I think the players within themselves are not bad players, and they should be doing more. But when it comes to Romero, when I'm talking about doing more, that's not good enough for him. You know what I mean? When I say these players should be doing more, that's like my assessment of the manager and the players. But for him, if let's say I say these players could be doing more. What do I mean by that? They could be 7th, they could be 8th. That's not good enough for Romero. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So even if they were doing more, that's still not enough. That's just better than this.
Why would a World Cup winner want to be 7th in the league?
Exactly. So he's look at the situation thinking we've got players who could maybe get us 7th out injured. Now we're 13th, right? And even if they have to come back, that's still not enough. And we're being left by the wayside, and we're being neglected from the hierarchy, who are always holding everyone accountable, except themselves.
Everyone except themselves.
And they're not acknowledging the role they've played and where Tottenham are right now. I guess maybe you could say with Daniel Levy gone, is that an acknowledgement of what's happened? But he's clearly still not happy with the people who are there.
Are you happy with the people that are
I'm
there?
not happy with the people there.
Lange, what is the point of him? Paratici wanted to bring
saying-
Gattuso in, one of the worst managers ever, wanted to bring his mate in to be our manager
I've been
last
saying,
year, 2 years ago, whenever it was.
Even from the beginning, I'm very sceptical of it's ENIC 2.0. I'm not buying into it.
I'm not buying into it either, Sim. I'm not buying
yet.
into it.
No way, because I refuse to believe that Levy... Understand Levy was the head honcho, but...
Mate,
it's not like
it's
these
just-
people who are here now
it's
were
a
just
fool
were
guy.
completely aware.
They've done what they've done with what they did with all the managers over the years. They've done with Levy. He'll be a little fool guy, and there you go. That will continue to milk the cow.
But it's going to be very interesting to see what the club do. Do the club address it? Do they ignore it?
They have to address it.
Well, Frank has to, not
Frank
the club.
has to.
The club doesn't have to. Vinay or Lange or any of these guys.
They have to do something. They're not
They
going to...
don't.
Of course they will.
No, they don't. They just leave it. Well, I know what's going to happen. What's going to happen is they'll ask Frank about it, and he'll go, well, you have to ask Kuti who he means.
Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't asked him.
Yeah.
That's it.
You
And then it'll be
think?
brushed over, 100%. You think the club are going to make a statement on this? No chance.
You don't think they'll put
No
a
chance.
statement?
They'll do their best to try and let it blow over.
You reckon?
100%.
Really?
Yeah, I'm sure of that.
That's
The journalists will ask Frank about it tomorrow.
really weak management.
That's what they'll do.
Well, that's
The
weak.
journalists will ask Frank on the
That's
presser
weak.
tomorrow or Friday, and they say, Romero said this. Who's he referring? Who do you think he's
Mate.
referring to? And he'll say, I don't know. You have to ask Kuti.
Well, you know what? There should be a meeting tomorrow, and Kuti should be dragged in. At the end of the day, he's an employee. He's not.
Oh, they
above
might
the-
address it behind the scenes.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh yeah,
They
behind
need
the
to-
scenes they'll address it. Yeah.
they
I'm
need
not
to-
saying publicly.
Okay, no.
Behind the scenes,
they
they'll
need
probably
to
address
address
it.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They'll probably talk to him. Yeah.
They have to.
Yeah.
They have
now
to.
that they do, and that's good. That means, hopefully he gives them
Well,
some
hopefully
home
some
truths.
understanding. Yeah, some understanding can come from it. Because if I was Kuti, I would say these are the things that I want to see from my club and where I'm going. Or, that contract we signed. Well, guess what? Got this team
all
who wants to
interesting.
sign me.
Yeah, but we still have to accept an offer, don't we?
Yeah, but what are we going to
But
do?
we've seen-
What are we going to do? Keep a player
But the
there
problem
unhappy
is,
on wages?
100%. The problem is we've seen this season there's been something off with the performances. It's not just been.
No,
it's not just as much as it's on the manager to get the team motivated and almost kind of undersell. And I still criticise Frank for that. But there's been something
There's
off
been
about the
underlying
mentality
issues and the
you
dressing
You can
room.
sense it. The way Van der Ven and Spence stormed off that one day.
100%,
The way they're
100%.
fighting with fans and they're not happy with what's going on. And I think what's happening is they're starting to feel the brunt of it from the fans and the away fans,
Yep.
and they say Romero's now taking some leadership and saying,
Yep.
well, I need to say something here because they're going at us and they're going at the team and they're booing and everything, and it's not right. We shouldn't be held fully accountable. These are the guys who are truly to blame for what's
And I
going on.
thank
at the top.
Cootie for that. I thank him for that. That is fantastic leadership. Fantastic leadership from Cootie. And he's bringing the other players along with him, which is smart. As a captain, it's smart.
Yeah, and this is but have you ever seen a
smart.
situation like this where a player has publicly made a statement criticising the board of a football club? All the players in the comments are clapping and agreeing, so they all agree with. There's a sentiment in the dressing room now, so it kind of pits the players up against the board. How do we move forward from that? Because it's the players' job to win football matches, which is obviously obviously will be good for the board, and that's all they want as well, is to us to win more football matches, but they're criticising us not being in the right conditions. So where does that leave us as a club when that is the underlying problems here? Like, how do we address that? Obviously, it's all well and good. We want to sign players and stuff, but the players are getting paid good money by the football club
Very good money.
to do their best to win games. They're complaining that I'm not saying they're not doing that, but there is a subconscious feeling within this dressing room when you can see it on the pitch that I'm not saying they're not giving her all, but subconsciously, look at today, Romero when he's closing down that shot. I'm not saying he's on purpose not closing down, but if he was fully focused, fully bought into what's happening
might
at this
be
club,
putting his body on the
he
line.
puts his body on the line because he's just switched on. And right now he's not. And we've seen it with Romero. He's been making more and more mistakes recently, and that's because we've always known with Romero when he's not 100% with it and focused, he starts to let these things creep in.
Yeah.
And that is what's been happening recently. Now I can understand why, because he's got these feelings within inside him about what's going on with the club.
His heart's not fully in the right place.
Yeah, but his heart's with Tottenham, but it clearly hurts him what's going on at Tottenham. He thinks we're capable of so much more. He said in that statement in the summer, it's a beautiful club that can do whatever it wants. It can do whatever the sky's the limit, essentially. And things that are holding us back, we're being held back. So that's his feeling. Now, people can criticise him for having those feelings and, you should put them aside and always do your best, which I'm sure he's trying to do his best. But there's a difference between doing your best and then when subconsciously you have those thoughts and feelings, you can't just ignore them. Especially for a guy like Romero, who's very emotional and he wears his heart on his sleeve. It's not something he can clearly, it's not something you can put to one side. But how do we move forward as a club when you have that situation? How is that addressed? Do they have a chat? We're on mute? No. Have I just been on mute for that whole time? No. But yeah, how do we address that as a football club? Because it's a very weird situation.
It is a weird situation. It is a weird, but I think they'll do it behind closed doors. They will deal with this internally. I don't think you'll see too many more texts and things. And
no, but my point being is, from now, I'm not saying these players are going to down tools, but it's implying that they're revolting against the hierarchy. And what's the only way to do that?
Downing tools is one of them. But
right, that's my point, and that's not an acceptable solution, is it? Not to fans.
No.
So how are we going about appreciating the message? But how do you get that message across apart from statements? My point being, they're making these statements, but how are they going to in future hold the hierarchy to accountable? What's the consequences of the hierarchy not listening to their criticisms or not hearing them out? Like, is it them downing? Is it them downing tools? Is it more statements? Is it just them putting in transfer requests?
Could be all of the above. Could be all of the above. Could be a mix of things. You think about what a disgruntled employee does at work. He might do the least possible. Do you know what I mean? He might be the worst employee there for the next couple of months until he's gone to his next job. They might cause trouble. They might be causing trouble already, Sim. We don't know. What we do know is that we're in one hell of a mess between board, players, fans.
We've heard, by the way, behind the scenes,
mess.
we've heard there's a split in the boardroom whether to sack Frank or not, because no one has the final say. And it's a collaborative thing or whatever, and no one's making that final decision. I've heard that Fabio is leaving because one of his thoughts is he wants Frank gone.
Good, go as well while you're
We've
at it.
heard there's now discontent with Romero and the hierarchy with what's going on over there. We've heard rumours behind the scenes that the players don't really like how Frank wants to play football. So the whole thing is, we've got fans and players clashing on the pitch after every game nearly now. Like, what is... this football club is an absolute mess.
Yeah.
It's an absolute crazy mess.
Yep.
Like, how do we sort this mess out?
Step by step. Step by step, Sim.
Oh, this football club.
It's not just going to happen overnight. This is our process. If you want to talk about a process, this is a process that we're going through. It's going to take I think there's a lot more pain in it for us before things start getting better, to be honest with you, Sim. Because I can't see this season things turning around for us. I know people are saying sack Frank, bring in Xavi, bring in whoever, bring in... But even with that, things aren't just going to get rosy overnight, are they? In the situation we're in, being realistic.
No, but I just find this fascinating that because before he was calling out the board, but he did it in a more subtle way. Yeah. But I think everyone could tell he was calling out the board. Yeah. This is pretty blatant.
It's very blatant.
It's pretty, like, I don't really see what else he could be talking about, unless he's... I mean, he can't be talking about Frank because Frank talks every game. So you can't be saying Frank only comes out when things are going well, because he doesn't. He comes out every game. So he's not talking about the manager. He has to be talking about the hierarchy, obviously.
He is talking about the hierarchy.
He is. He's talking about the hierarchy. But how do... it's just going to be very interesting to see how the club kind of approach this situation, because you've clearly got a bunch of disgruntled players. Now, the way you deal with when a manager's in that situation, like as I said, when Amorim and Maresca went against the hierarchy, they were gone. But you can sack a manager. Yeah. That managers can be sacked. That's an easy solution. Yeah. There's no easy solution to this.
Players' contracts can be terminated.
But they would never do that.
They wouldn't do that.
They'll never do that in a million years.
Yeah, because we all know ENIC what the bottom line is.
No, it's just a stupid thing to do. You sell them. Yeah. We can maybe put them all on the transfer list.
Yeah, but there's examples. Ed Ndombele, we had to tear up his contract, right? I'm pretty sure.
I think it ran it down, didn't we? We just loaned him out.
I thought we tore it up in the end.
Yeah,
no?
with a year left, maybe. Not with multiple years left.
I see.
Maybe with a year left, I think we did. I can't remember.
I think we did.
Wow. Yeah, I don't know how do you deal with a disgruntled dressing room who's angry at the hierarchy, not necessarily the manager. How do they go about dealing with that? Do they put a bunch of them on the transfer list? What do they do? Is that the way they move forward? Anyway, that is some breaking news on Cuti Romero. Let me know in the comment section below what your thoughts are, how Tottenham deal with the situation. How do we get out of this mess? Absolutely crazy. All right, let's get another caller on off the back of that. Very interesting to talk about. Let's get Alexander on. Alexander, big statement there from Cuti Romero. Is it, go ahead. What do you want to talk about? Do you want to talk about the statement? Do you want to talk about the game? Go for it.
I mean, the statement it's huge, and for someone that I had a little, I was frustrated with Romero after today's performance. Really, I didn't feel like he took enough leadership he showed character a little bit there in the end, but overall during the entire game, I think he should do better for that first goal. And now, but when I hear that statement, my respect just skyrockets for him, honestly. Because if that doesn't show leadership, then what does? You could argue it's a way to like, he's counted his days at the club, but in my opinion, I think it's him sticking his chest out and taking it for the group, representing the group, representing what all of the players think in general, because he wouldn't say this if it was split down the middle, if half of the players disagreed regarding this, and it's clearly a common shared opinion. So absolutely great. I just think we have to get to the root cause of the issue at the club and the ownership. If you use a bigger scope and if you're a real football person, then you can see that the ownership they've been below par for over 2 decades. That's the reality, and I think this statement is huge.
So what do you think? What do you think he's specifically referring to in your mind when you read that? He says, what did the statement say exactly? It said, let me get up. Sorry.
It's the entire board. It's the entire board. It can't just be one person specifically. It's the entire board. Their collective ambition, their ambition as a group for the club doesn't come up to balance with the players. The players clearly are more ambitious than the board. That's my opinion of it, because otherwise they wouldn't call out the players, because the players are the ones that have to take the stick for when shit goes south, and the manager too. It's never the board, as you mentioned earlier, Sim. So I think they're just now fed up of it. And
But he
Romero,
says they only show up when things are going well to tell a few lies. What do you think he
Yeah.
means by that?
the false promises we've been given for the last, I don't know how many years, all the false goddamn promises we've been given, that's one of them. That's the lies. When things go bad, they come up with these promises to calm the storm down. All of that. We want to win the Champions League, the Prem, all of this. There's nothing so far that actually proves that they've been serious with those statements. There's actually nothing. And I just think now when it goes down to the fans just clashing against the players and managers, you have to find a common, like, we all as fans, we want to know why. That's the thing. If we all knew the whys to everything at the club, the whys, why things are happening, then we would be calm. But the reason why we're so agitated and going at each other, the fans, players, because the fans don't know what they're in disagreements with. What is the issue at the club? Is it just the board? Is it the manager and the players together? Like, we're also divided. So yeah, the lies that come out of the club that have come out from them for so many goddamn years, I think it's that the players, of course, they have to be accountable for the general trajectory of the club, the performance, etc. But the club, they're the ones who are supposed to lead with ambition, and then the player and follow. They follow after that and are supposed to complete their job on the pitch. But if you don't have that ambition at board level, then you're just cruising. You're cruising in comfortability. You're cruising to no man's land, really, because you don't really know what you want. The players don't know what the clear set of ambitions are for the club. They don't know. Are we here to win the Prem in a few years? Are we here to compete for a trophy this season, or is it next season, or what are we supposed to do this? I just think it's all really subjective to them. It's cloudy. We want to do the best. Of course, that's what every player thinks. They want to do the best that they can with the team for this season, and whatever happens at the end, we'll take it. I think just that's the mentality. The mentality of our players is also they can have a shit performance 2 weeks in a row, and they know that their place in the starting 11 will be guaranteed next week because we don't have the squad deep enough to compete.
Right.
That's also a thing. They know they can put up shit performances if it's not their week, and they'll get away with it because nobody is there to replace them.
For you, when you look at his statement,
yeah.
Do you think there is part of his frustration was the decision to sack Ange and bring Frank in? Does that enter the frustration that has led him to this statement? Because the last time he made a similar statement was the day we hired Frank.
Yeah, I remember that.
So does that play? Do you think that plays into it? Do you think this is also part of the unhappy and the ambition in which way we're being managed?
I mean, guys, we can speculate and all that. We can go off the rumors that Romero was really close with Ange, and that, of course, we could see that. We could see actual signs of that.
Forget Ange, just the way we're playing now. More, I'm talking about more
Yeah,
directing it
yeah,
at
but
Frank.
I don't think Frank was the most. When they heard the name Frank, let's be honest, after we sacked French, the players heard, okay, the next manager who's coming in is Frank. Who of them thought, shit, okay, now we're actually going somewhere? Ange did this final part, he did the first part, and now we're gonna kick on. I don't think they as a collective got that feeling, but it doesn't matter. They're professionals. They have to get behind the manager and whatever the club really puts ahead for them. And I think the balance in the first few games under Frank that we showed, PSG, excellent performance, not desired result. City, Burnley, that first stint of the season, which just saw us seeing a sort of balanced football we haven't seen before. You can go off that. You can say that Kuti isn't Frank's biggest admirer, and it's sometimes showing on the pitch. He's not fully focused. We know Romero has to be fully locked in to be able to put up top performances. And yeah, I don't know what it is. Honestly, I could talk about the game though. Today, I just
Go
think
for it.
I just think we're a charity club, guys. We're a charity club. We're free. Today was Semenyo. Semenyo, my guy, last goal game for Bournemouth. Not only that, we're gonna make sure that you get your goal not in the last minute, but 94th minute, perfect, and you can also get a sending, applauded. You can get subbed off, and you can
Standing
applaud.
ovation.
We put it on a plate. We
Ovation.
put it on a plate for him. We put it on a plate for Eze, who's ever since that hat trick against us, which was disgusting and it turned my stomach inside out. He hasn't even started. Odegaard has taken his place again. He's been benched. He had that hat trick. It was like they signed him for that moment. We served that up to them. And it's we're a charity club, guys, and these sort of things we deliver. It's Doctor Tottenham. We all know, and it's just it's all down to club culture, in my opinion. It happens. It keeps on reoccurring because the club culture doesn't change. It's the same, and the root of that is there's no there's no there's no collective ambition from the board, from the ownership that resembles down to the players. That's the thing. You can look at any organization within. You can look financial sectors, all of it. If you have a boss that isn't ambitious, let's say he sits at his office all day, is doesn't pan out a clear sort of objective for his organization, then you see what happens. It's common knowledge. The employees, despite them having their own set of ambitions, they're not going to follow through. They're going to get infected by the boss, the top guy's mentality, because it's all hierarchy, club hierarchy. There's business hierarchy. It's all of that, and it's down to it's down to the ownership, in my opinion, the board. It's the boardroom that's the main root issue at Spurs.
So
Just
wait,
how it is.
Alexander, do you think there's a disconnect then between what the board want and what the players want?
Yeah, that's what I said earlier. I think the players' common ambition is higher than the board's. It's that simple. They don't put themselves up to the standards of a collective, of a group that wants to win week in and week out. But I think their end ambition, with being at the club is they want to achieve great things here. I think it's more real in them than it is on the people on the top of the board.
I see.
Think that's how it is.
I see.
Did you
They're
feel?
not being leaded. They're not being led properly by a club that takes them in that direction. If you know what I mean. So
Where are you on
Well,
the manager?
with Frank, I've said last show I called in. Right now, I don't think it solves a lot to sack him. I'm one of the people. If he gets players now in January and he doesn't improve that, then the only right decision is to sack him in the summer. In my opinion, we don't know what's going to happen against Villa. If we somehow make that, then we can cling on to the hope of maybe. But I also want to go back to this because a lot of fans last season that said, "Shit, we know how awful it is in the league under Ange. but we're still in the Europa League. We're still in Europa League, and you never know, guys. You never know. I'm gonna use a hypothetical now that sort of it forces you to be fair as a fan. That is okay, but we're still in the Champions League. We're not gonna win the Champions League, but use that same principle for Frank. As long as he's in the Champions League, as long because that was the same time frame we used for Ange last season. As long as he's still in the Europa League, use the same for Frank then. Use the same for Frank. We're not going to win it. There was a lot of fans last season that said, "No way in hell we're going to break our trophy out. I don't care if it's the Europa League. We're not going to win it. We're not." There were so many fans that said that, guys. You know it yourselves.
I know.
And we
I wasn't
still-
one of them, but there was.
Yeah. I was one of them that believed. I actually believed
Mm-hmm.
because of the new format and things. But you have to take these things into. And I think if you want to be fair as a fan, then do that the same. Give Frank the Champions League. When he goes out of that, then you can say, okay, there's nothing. Just as a principle of being fair, because we're still in Frank's first season.
But
Frank hasn't shown-
Ange had some sort of credit in the bank. Not maybe enough to last what went through last season. In the end of the day, he won
He
won
did.
it. But he had, first season we did finish fifth. We did play good football. At the beginning of last season, yes, there were some bad defeats, but there were also some really good performances there and some really good wins and really impressive stuff. And there were some of those defeats that were really unlucky, and we should have won some of those games. And so from that point of view, there was a sense that get through this injury crisis, get these players back, and we can start playing good football again. And there is something to cling on to. Right now, it's like, what are we waiting for? Because at the moment, it's just bad, and it's not really ever been good.
Yeah, I know. I've also been one of the guys that have said I'm clear with Ange. It only worked out because of one game a week. Him with his below par coaching staff of Jedinak and that other guy.
Yeah.
They're not up to the level of Premier League standard. And 2 games a week, they crumble, no matter what club they're at. No matter if he would have gotten a third season with us, he would crumble, in my opinion, with that same assistant staff. If he would have had better world-class assistants, let's say, top assistants like Pep Linders from City, the former Liverpool assistant, let's say people that sort of are ready and have first head coach experience themselves, but are assistants as a collective, then maybe Ange could work in this league. But with more than 1 game a week, he is proven. It's proven. His stint at Forest, crashing out this. Guys, I don't even want to talk about it, but fans that say, "Oh, season three," his season 3 was at Forest, and he's 60. If Ange was 40 and he sort of had some sort of flexibility, he doesn't know exactly where he want to go as a manager, he can still adapt, learn, then fine. But he's 60. He's not gonna change his ways, and I just think it would have been another.
Didn't he? A bit in that Europa League run.
He did at the guidance of the players, which was ballsy of him to sort of put down his pride a little and just think, I actually have
a man who
high-
listens to his players.
Yeah, and Matt Wells being a huge part of that, as reported too. But I just think we can't go back. We can't go. We can't go
No, we're
back.
not talking about going back. But what we're talking about is.
Poch might be.
But
No,
do you think these players, do you reckon the feeling in the dressing room with what Romero's saying? Do you think there is a
I'm fully
feeling?
convinced.
There is a feeling about not just the hierarchy with the investment. I think that's also, but also the manager. Is he an ambitious enough manager for them?
I get that. I fully get that.
Not just from the profile. I'm not talking about like his name. I'm talking about how we play.
Yeah. First of all, I'm fully convinced that all the players will unite behind Romero. I don't think it will split up the dressing room.
Well, they've already started commenting on the post.
Yeah, exactly. Radu, Xavi too have liked the post. I think they'll all unite behind him. There won't be any split in the dressing room, in that sense. But when it comes to Frank, I think they it's sad to say, but I don't think they respect him in that sense.
Yeah.
I think Frank, he shows a lot. He shows passion. He actually shows more passion on touchlines than Ange did, for example. He has that sort of charisma to him, but his overall charisma to lead a group, and I don't think it's not there enough, and he doesn't have the CV to command respect enough, in my opinion. It's sad to say, because I was one of the people who said, keep on backing him.
All right, Alexander, appreciate you calling in, mate. It's nice to see you. Oh, you've been cut off. Have I?
Can't hear him.
You can't hear him as well? Is it just me? Is he muted or is it just...
Oh, maybe it's muted. Oh, muted himself.
He's on his side.
Yeah.
Oh, I can hear you now.
Now we can hear you.
Sorry, go on. What were you? Sorry, we missed out. I thought you stopped speaking. Go on. What were you saying?
Yeah, and just with Frank regarding his, I don't think, he doesn't have that in the bank, and it's sad to say, but I lost my train of thought now, but yeah, he's not the end sort of. I think he's the guy after the guy before the guy. So Ange was the first, then Frank, and I think just we had to get the next guy right, in my opinion. And it's from here I just think we have to unite as a fan base towards sort of the ownership and.
All right. Nice to see you, Alexander. Appreciate you calling in.
Thanks for calling in, Alexander.
Thanks a lot, mate. See you soon. All right. Oh, and finally, to round off the show. And it has been a long one, guys. It has been a long one.
It's been a long one, indeed.
Let's get KPV on the show.
Big up, KPV.
KPV!
Big up.
Kyle.
Yo.
Lovely shirt. You got a nice shirt there. Got a very nice shirt.
WeAreTottenhamTV.
Big up, KPV. How you been?
I'm fine. Just been chilling and been doing much. But went out to watch the darts on Saturday and big Luke Littler won. So Luke
you were there.
Littler
You were there at the darts.
I was in the pub with my mate Ed. You know, Edward Godfrey, a Liverpool fan. I watched it and big Luke Littler won it, and now can he win a Premier League dart? I've seen the lineup, and can Luke win it? So, gonna be brilliant to watch. But and Amir, what are you on about? We didn't deserve to win any games. Like Paulinho said, we deserved to win the last few games when we didn't win. Like, yes, we did. I don't know what you're chatting the shit about, but we did, and we should have won. We deserved to beat Palace, and should have beaten Sunderland and Brentford. So I don't know what you're on about.
What, you think we should have beaten Sunderland and Brentford?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, KPV.
Let me remind you, Sunderland haven't beaten us since they had Roy Keane, and that was 07-08 when they did a double over us. And they had Roy Keane as boss, and they beat us. And United won in Moscow. So people need to remember that, because that was when they last beat us. And when they won the Premier League before, we beat them. Kane and Son assist, and Kane, I believe, scored at Sunderland, and we won. So, and Ben is chatting shit again. We never lose to Dortmund. Ben, we never lose to Dortmund, Ben, wherever you are, mate.
Ben.
Ben
we never lose to Dortmund.
Well, Ben, we never lose, mate. So I don't know what he's chatting shit about.
Apart from 2016.
2016. There's always Dr. Tottenham.
That was on the Poch fallout. And
except for under Poch, sorry, yeah. When do we ever beat Dortmund except for Poch?
And we beat them when we had Poch in the Champions League on our road to the final. So
we did indeed.
They had a Bamland, mate. They had a Bama your shit Jan block, because that's what he is. A Bama your shit Jan. And Marseille got their asses whooped recently, I saw. But go on, Curtis Romero, call out the board. Call them out, because
on that we can agree.
I don't like how the club is being acted, and I don't like how the board are treating our players. And what is Frank doing? Drinking from a rival mug blood? I don't know. He must have gotten it from the Arsenal game after we got slapped. But anyway, I couldn't care less about those lot, because we should have at least taken a point. And we're now relying on overhead kicks. Like, we saw Paulinho do this in the Carabao Cup against Doncaster, and he's now scored 2. So I believe he's now got, 3 or 4 goals? I thought Van der Ven scored in 2026 first goal, but it was Ben Davies. Big up Ben Davies. Man
Daddy
like Ben
Davies. Daddy
Brilliant,
Davies.
man. And give me Xavi or Harry Redknapp. I heard he's put himself in a West Ham job. Like, yeah, that was his club he played for, but people we need to remember he got us in that Champions League place, but it was Quelch. So shout out to Big Peter Quelch. And
Come on.
but give me Xavi because he's won the lot with Barcelona and the Spanish national team. Give me Xavi, or at least give me Robbie Keane. Aaron Lennon's available. Bring
Aaron
Lennon
Lennon.
back.
How about a Lennon Keane double act?
Bring Lennon
What,
back.
waiting for Xavi in the summer?
Keane and Berbatov co-managers.
Yeah, Berbatov, man. Bring those two back when we beat Chelsea in the final because Berbatov scored from the spot and sent Czech the wrong way. So, but obviously I didn't like what he did when he left to join United. He wanted to leave, and but that was Levy, and we were never going to sell Modric to Chelsea, and he sent him to Madrid. And as I said many times, Bale signed that contract before he went to Madrid. But go on, Rocco, stick him up top. And Lennon was put in that Legends game against AC Milan and Berbatov and everyone. And give me Michael Dawson and Leddy King. Bring them, the two captains I've seen. Bring them to the club. Bring them to back,
Absolutely.
people.
Get them all back. You're out of here. You're out of here, did you say?
You've got to go home, innit? So I don't want to
you're
keep
right.
you home.
You were right about that, KP.
That
You're
is
right
for
about
sure.
that.
I know you don't want to stay, so obviously, guys, I'm going to the cinema today with my mate Ed to see Avatar. So obviously, I'm glad I'm missing the Liverpool Arsenal game because I don't care. Obviously,
Damn right.
we got Villa at home in the cup. Revenge for last season in the cup away we lost, but Morgan Rogers and Watkins have not been scoring recently. So obviously, we need a win, but obviously we're probably going to lose. But we'll have to see what team Frank puts in. But obviously now we've not got a winger. Kudus is out and doesn't look good, so we need to act. And give me Aaron Lennon. Bring him back. And Son, the chapter's not over, mate. Come back, mate. Come back
Nice
to the
one.
club.
Yes, that's the thing we need the most. Sonny back. Get Sonny back
Bring
on
back
loan.
Son Aldo. Obviously.
Come on, Carl.
All
Go
right,
on.
mate.
All right, mate.
All right.
Good to see you.
All the best, KPV.
All the best, KPV.
Thanks
And
for
we'll see you
calling
soon.
in.
All the best. Well, Amir, that was quite an evening. We've had a last-minute winner against us, 3-2. We've had our manager drinking out of an Arsenal Cup. We've had players arguing with fans in the crowd. We've had Romero making a public statement, which is commented and liked by all the players about calling out the board.
The lies of the board. The lies.
Quite an evening. We've had 5 goals. We've had Tottenham still in 14th.
This club.
Oh man, I don't know how many more evenings of this I could do. This was a crazy one.
I don't know how you and Ben physically can do what you can do. Like at least us guys.
This is just one evening.
This is just one. You're in here for the player
ratings. We don't get a
ratings.
year of this sometimes. We get it in one evening.
I don't even know how you manage, guys. I don't.
Oh, crazy.
I don't know how.
What an evening. But Famir, appreciate you being on the stream with me.
No worries.
We'll see you tomorrow where...
Glad I was here for it.
We'll see you tomorrow where it's going to be explosive because Brian Daigle is in the house and I'm sure he's got something to say about Romero's statement. You got to be here to see it. We'll see you tomorrow, guys. Appreciate everyone who sent the super chats, who interact with the stream, who called in. It's been a hell of a stream, but we'll see you tomorrow. I was going to say where we do it all again. It's going to be slightly different. We're not going to be reacting live unless there's some crazy stuff that happens. You never know. Tune in. Brian Daigle's in the studio, so you never know what's going to happen. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Like, subscribe, and comment. And as always, come on, you Spurs.